He'll slide in with a mouthful of food.
Probably. All right, we are now live.
What up, to?
Let me see live viewer comments. Oh, I don't need that to show up there. See if anybody on here. Let me check YouTube. My channel. It say 2 people is on right now, so
Is that just us?
right.
Are we those 2 people?
I don't know. Let me see notifications. No. I don't know. This might work since somebody late.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, I left and ran up to the spot with the team. They went out after. I'm like, y'all, I got to go.
You going up there after this?
No, I just left, and I was. That's why. And then I didn't have you set up before I should have just had everything set up before I got back. So all I had to do was, push on.
I guess. Hold on. What's our topic today? I think it's
It's property management.
It's,
Finding renters in the Detroit market.
Yep.
So we can talk about some other crazy stuff.
Today, we got to meet up anyway. We got to get ready for Florida.
I know. What are the dates again? They're on my calendar, but what are the dates?
Hold on, let me pull up my calendar. So the event is on June the 26th.
Okay.
But the time we're gonna be there is June 22nd to the 28th.
Okay. All right, because I got to tell the office too, because they asked me. I'm like, shit, I don't know. I just know it's in June. Because last year it was July or the year before.
I think the year before we did July, but that's rainy season, so that's why we've been picking June so we can still do stuff.
Why I feel like I'm over here somewhere? Is it because of how I'm angled?
I guess.
Okay, there we go. The more I push back, that should be better. Yeah,
I think Marcus logged on, but
there you go.
I don't see his face.
I'm here.
You late again? I'm coming at you before you even get on good. You late? I mean,
yes, I'm late at the moment. It's been one hell of a week.
Property management stuff. Management issues.
Yeah, management issues. Somebody stole the front door off of one of the properties during the daylight while they were home.
Wait a minute.
What do you mean?
Exactly. That's what I was. I said, what do you mean?
Let me see that.
Wow.
What type of door? What kind of money?
It was the security door.
Oh, they got time. They had time.
But what kind of money can you get for a door, y'all?
That's what I thought. But apparently, but I think it was a ruse by the by the tenant.
So this what we're gonna be looking like next week.
Let me see. All them sweet your kids did them?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta put them on the payroll.
Yeah, they sure did.
They paid for their college already.
And Hubby insisted on bringing them up here. So this they first of many.
I like them.
Those are dope. I like them just when you sent it in the group chat.
No, right. Like I got all black this time, but I figured we get some other colors and shit.
Yeah, I want a navy blue one.
I want red.
No, we're live right now. Yeah, we're live and we're showing.
That's Red. Someone say what up, though.
What up, Red?
Hey, what's up?
Can't wait to go to Florida again.
Listen, I got the whole family going, y'all. Like,
yeah, so he's hot, baby.
Yeah, I think they look pretty good.
They do. They do.
They're nice.
Yeah, and they're that sturdy hoodie material too. They made this when I got on.
Oh yeah, we gotta put them on the payroll.
Yep. So I'm gonna send y'all hoodies, and they gonna send y'all the cash out. Small donation would be appreciated.
Absolutely.
No those materials. Woo-hoo. Hey, Mariah. So that's just the beginning. You know, they do mugs and hats. So Marcus, if you want some hats and stuff,
I do.
We're gonna start. Hey, Maddie. Maddie is the designer, and Reg and Mariah does the production.
Okay.
Yeah, we gotta get them a website. We gotta get them popping. Run some ads.
Okay, I just left bamboozle. So, so all right, Beth.
Later, Asia. Later, Marcus.
Oh,
See
there
ya.
you go, Mark.
Bye.
So now, what happened with the security door?
Somebody stole it off of the house. So apparently, the tenants are saying that they heard a loud bang, and when they went downstairs, the door was gone, and somebody was going down the street with it.
How do you turn the door off that quick?
Oops.
I mean, don't they have hinges like 1, 2, 3, 4?
I don't know. So they did a police report or whatever about it, and so I had to deal with that, and it was just some other issues that arise. And
So this is all part of being a property manager.
yes, it is.
Yep. Or a landlord.
Is the door under insurance?
It can be, but but more likely the deductible is so high, you would
It's
just
not worth it.
it's not worth it.
So how much can you sell a door on the market for?
They probably didn't sell it. They're probably using it somewhere else.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Most doorways are standard kind of door size. Most of them, like in the city, you can use it somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all
but
the pictures.
did they tear the frame up? Like, I got so many unanswered questions. Like, did they tear the jams up, the frame?
Okay, so no, they didn't tear the jam up. They didn't tear the frame up. So that's what kind of made me like, but I mean, what can I do? I don't know. I can't accuse anybody of anything. So
They ain't got no ring camera?
no, they don't have a ring camera.
Of course not.
Is that like a drop cam? The one that you put right outside and see people walking up?
Yeah.
Like the doorbell one.
Yeah.
That's wild. Somebody done stole the front door.
Damn.
I done seen it all. Why they was there though? I can see why
While
they
were home.
Right.
It had to be like 2:00 in the afternoon or something.
Are you serious?
Yeah, my assistant Diane called me like, you would never guess. I'm like, what? She's like, somebody stole the front security door off of property. I'm like, what? I was like, I have so many questions. I'm like, what?
Why did they call you though?
You said how?
Why? I mean, why did they call you?
Because the property managers. I mean, we manage the property, so they called our office, and I had to go over there to just.
They ain't call the police.
They did call the police, and the police came and did a report
on a missing door, on a stolen security.
Yeah, I know that made the police day. Like, yeah, we are getting criminals out here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That is funny.
Oh well, I guess shit happens. Lock your security lock.
Basically, that's what I'm like. Why was the door not locked? Because
that's the security lock.
It couldn't have been locked because how in the world would you be able to steal it if it's in the slot in the door jam?
This is funny. Somebody said, "Is that a Detroit thing?" I heard a porch in Detroit got stolen. Now porches do get stolen.
Who was that said that? Somebody else said that. I'm surprised they didn't steal the porch.
Y'all gotta educate me. Y'all know I'm always up in here shuffling these damn papers. Why are we stealing the porch?
So it's a couple reasons why your porch gonna get stolen. One, if it's brick and somebody around your neighborhood got the same brick, especially on them older houses, it's hard to match it. So they need to match their porch or some tuck pointing, or they want to build like a paved driveway, or they want to do a brick, like a fire pit.
So it's the brick that they're going after.
They taking the brick. So that's the first reason they steal brick or porches. Another reason is somebody didn't get paid, so they took what they put in.
And they're going to sell the bricks.
No, they're going to use them on somebody else's job that paid.
That is one of the things I kind of had to ask too. Like, are all contractors and subcontractors paid? Because, I mean,
that's crazy. Y'all thought me. I mean, I thought I saw crazy shit with title, but the door.
I just think so Ponce, he thought I was lying when I was like, they be stealing up bricks off them old houses for they demo them because they good brick. Mm-hmm. And so he rolled up on the crew doing it and he sent me a video. I was like, get they number. Cause look, it was so clean. I was like, hey dog, get their number because they know what they doing.
Oh my God.
I was like, don't run that. He was like, for real, like get their number.
I know the shit was still that serious, y'all.
Yes, it is.
If it's one of them old school contractors, don't pay them. Either your house gonna burn down or they taking whatever they put in. I just take you to court.
Yeah, well, from when we got a memo today, I guess April 5th, the county's going to be open back up.
Oh, thank
About
you.
time.
But
I
you
was
know
gonna
what?
ask you about my
I
deed.
mean, I'll be honest with you. We've been getting, if y'all D's ain't back, they'll be coming back because apparently right now everybody at the county has laptops. So they've been working from home. So what e-recording was like 45, 60 days, even more behind, man, we been getting shit left and right now. I mean, it's like it was stuff coming through I didn't even know I had submitted for recording.
Did y'all submit my stuff?
We
Is
just
Val
got
for
the stuff. That's
recorded?
what I said. Y'all shit should be coming through. I gotta look. I don't know. We didn't got probably about 200 Ds in the last week.
Damn.
Wow, that's good.
Yep, backlog.
Somebody been complaining.
Not only complaining, but I mean, shit, they was at home with no laptops. So now everything is e-recorded, which is a good thing. But when they open back up on the 5th, that's gonna be even better. You know, because we like to walk our shit through.
Yeah, I like to walk mine too.
Right, that's
So
guaranteed.
I don't know if we're gonna still have to get on the books for appointments or what,
but I can say that the FOIAs, for at least privately, are coming back fast.
No.
Well, I submitted one and I got it back probably like within 2 weeks.
That's not fast, but okay.
Well, it was fast for me because I didn't expect it. I expected it to be at least a month.
Oh yeah, no. About 2 weeks is good on a onesie. You know, we do projects, so it takes maybe about 2.5 weeks. But we just got an email because I'm waiting on something now, and they told us flat out, don't ask us about them anymore. We're short staffed. We're working on them. You'll get the notification. Oh, okay, then I can't even be mad at you.
Oh, attitude.
Yeah, you know, because they're in the middle of the taxes that was at the city level just got turned over to the county, so they're in the middle of reconciling all of that.
So they not extending that no more. So if you do the foreclosure, you get foreclosed on for taxes.
No. These are just
they extended that to May.
They extended it to May. I think I put some on my Facebook page.
I'll put it to you like this: they extended the pay for you to get into a payment agreement until May.
Yes. They extended like they always do almost every year. They, because they supposed to have their judgments in March.
So Balfour has back taxes on it that I didn't plan on paying to closing, so I better go look that up.
You at least need to get whatever taxes are subject to foreclosure. Anything 2018 and back, you at least need to get those paid or in a payment arrangement.
Oh, let me go on that Wayne County site now.
So what they've extended is for folks to go ahead and do the payment arrangements or pay, because they get their judgments in March, but they don't ever record them in March. They keep, they do April, May, June. They give you those opportunities to try to make payment arrangements or pay the taxes. But what I was talking about are the 2020 taxes that came out. Anything that's not paid by March 1st of that following year, they automatically go over to the county. So that's what they're transferring right now.
That sounds good, huh? I'm on the tax site right now. Let me look this on up. They done changed some stuff. I ain't been on here in a minute.
Oh no, they done changed a lot of shit. They done changed a lot. But life's starting to open back up a little bit. We can still go over and pay taxes. We can go over and get tax certifications. We can't go over and report yet. Let me see what else. We can go over and pay blights. You just have to drop them off and wait. So I mean, it's a process.
The property transfer affidavit, the assessor's office is not open.
Yeah, you have to do it online.
Yeah, you have to do it online or put it in a Dropbox. But when you call the phone number, it says, yes, we are open.
No, they're not open.
Yeah, I went down there to find that out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
No, that's when they was still in that dough. You should have been on your job.
Balfour ain't even showing up talking about not found. Is it Wayne? Wait, it's Balfour Road or Street. That'd be making
that makes a difference.
Not for that.
Well, I did Road, so let me try Street.
That makes a difference.
No results.
You got a tax ID number?
What was Balfour's address?
I don't want to just say that mug on here.
Oh shit, you're right. I got it though.
It's secure, but still. And insured.
So what's the topic today, Marcus? Tell us something good.
This topic, what's the topic? Oh, how to find tenants or how he finds tenants?
It's on here. It's 18s through 20, so you got to pay 18.
You got to pay the 18s on.
How much is 18?
$16.71 as of right now.
All right, I got to pay it.
If you do it in April, it's gonna go up.
Yeah.
But I can get on the payment plan though, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that because I don't want to pay.
Actually do a payment plan online. If you do it online, you will need.
Send me the parcel ID when I do the property address. It ain't pulling up.
You will need $866 right now to
They
get
put
into
down
the
damn
payment.
near 50% already.
Yeah.
That's cool.
50%, Mark?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not a water bill.
That's because this is a or what they call a REXPA, like the investor. If you're trying to do homeowner,
It's different.
Yeah.
They put you on a homeowner zero interest plan or whatever.
Yeah, they reduced not zero, they reduced the interest.
Reduced it, but yeah, everybody run down there. Emma said zero interest. No, I did not. I did not.
No.
Now, what the water, because it was a previous tax foreclosure, you need to go ahead and get that county deed over to the water department, because I'm not trying to be arguing about that 300 account and that 301 account when it's time to sell.
All right.
Because they told me they ain't wrote it off. So you need to go ahead and contact the water department and let them know that this was a previous tax foreclosure. So obviously any bills that was prior to the foreclosure, you need them to start the write-off.
All right, so I just looked it up. So it's $4,200 in taxes as of now. So it'll probably be about $5 by the time I close.
When you thinking about closing?
I want to be closing by Labor Day.
Oh no, it's gonna be more than 5.
Oh yeah.
I'll have my season
1.8%.
That interest is hefty.
Let me see. Hold on.
Well, I'm gonna go and pay 18. That's 1671. So that'll knock some of that down because I can put that on this hot.
Well, it goes up by 1.5% every month.
Yep.
So April, May, June, July, August. That's about 10%.
Yeah, because it's 18% for the entire year. For the entire each year, you're delinquent.
Right. So
normally I just pay a closing since this is a full good. I'm gonna pay this now, and so I do the water. I take care of that next week. That's like $3,000.
Whatever, but don't go talking about you paying it. You need to contact them and send them the deed.
Yeah. Or stamp property transfer affidavit and your closing, your bill of sale and all, or
well, right now, just for that water, they just want the deed showing the judgment deed. They want the county deed. And then
I don't have no judgment deed. I just got.
You got it. I'll send it to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm like, I don't have that, Marcus. You didn't send me that.
Because it wasn't that. This wasn't the land bank property.
Was this a tax foreclosure?
No.
No, I don't think. Yeah, it wasn't no tax. This was a regular homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
It was gonna be a tax foreclosure if I hadn't bought it up off him. All right, so I just did payment schedule for all years combined. My payment would be $519 a month. Well, that's cool.
For what?
I'm looking right now. Like I clicked on
for water.
No, this for the taxes. So it said if I pay installment for all years, I can pay $519 a month, or pay just for $278 a month.
What are you looking at? That's not what I do. Are you on the right site?
Yeah, I'm on the tax site, and I clicked on payment plans, and I clicked on pay in installments, and it.
Oh no. You need to go to the actual property where it says pay online property and tax, and then go down to regular stipulated payment agreement. It's a 10-month payment plan for 2018 and prior forfeited years.
Yeah, I see that. And then when I clicked on pay now or pay partial payments.
Nope. Go down again so you should see it where it says REGSPA.
Let me see. If you want to change the name and mailing address, please select this option. Yes. Yeah, down payment $866, then monthly $174.
Yep.
All right.
But
that's what actually puts you in the plan, which will save it from foreclosure. The other
that's
stuff.
The 18s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this for 18.
But I thought you was just trying to put it all on payment.
But she don't have to. You just need to do 18.
I know she don't have to. I
yeah.
I'm doing just enough.
That's right. Yeah, 866, but this is the program that will keep it from foreclosing. The other stuff is just if you wanted to break your payments up for like your regular payments, like if you're 20s and your 21s, and you just wanted to break it up so to pay it off faster before the end of the year, that does not put you into an agreement.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I just pay mine at closing. I don't be doing this.
Yeah. So what you were looking at is the partial pay. So they're just saying if you wanted to break up all the 18s, 19s, and all of that, and this is what you would have to pay to have it paid off by the end of the year. But that's not an agreement, so don't do that. Maybe we should have somebody from the treasurer's office to go through that too, because you know how many people gonna go and do what you just did as far as a partial payment and then agreement.
I gotta walk away for 1 minute. I'll be right back.
All right. So what questions y'all got? So y'all know we got a couple rules. Let me read them. Respect us. We gonna respect you. We are for profit, and we do take donations. And we are not a nonprofit. If you got a paragraph of questions, you definitely have to hit that Cash App or book a consult, because I'm not answering no homework assignments. At least I'm not. I can't speak for Marcus and Emma. And I think that's all the rules. I don't pay $8.66. So let me go and do this right now. I agree to the terms. They got a lot of check boxes. And do I got any IG questions? Any good recommendations for a property manager? Yep, Marcus. His IG is Opulent Realty Team. At Opulent Realty Team, I should say. Dang, they send you over to DocuSign? Marcus, did you know that? They send you over to DocuSign, y'all, when y'all get on the payment plan. The city is not playing with y'all. That's wild.
I'm sorry. Okay, so we're gonna wait till Emma come back and then we just gonna get started.
Did you hear me?
I did not. I'm sorry.
No, I said they send you over to DocuSign when you do it.
Yeah, because you signed an agreement, an actual agreement saying that you're gonna pay that $174 per month.
Are we still on the taxes?
Yeah, we're waiting for you to come.
We're not talking about how to protect your security door?
Actually, yes, we can. We can start with that. If the door was installed properly and it was in the door jamb and it was in the right screws. Asia, what type of screws would you use for like a door jamb like that? The contractor told me, but whatever it is, it can't be backed out.
It depends on how deep though, but some people be trying to be cheap and just using little punk ass 3-inch screws.
I think that what was in there was those 3-inch screws. So whatever it was, they had the ability to back out the screws and take the door. But this time it's not that way. He put in the ones you can't back out.
So the door has been replaced already?
Yes, it has been.
It had to be. They were gonna be up in there with some plastic on the door.
Well, I mean, they still had their main door.
That's what I'm saying. They still have their main door.
But they didn't have the security door. But yes, it has been replaced. It only took us about 12 hours, just overnight. They were there to do it. I had to run to Home Depot the same day to get them one of those door security, kind of like the props to put against the door and while they're at home. So in the event that somebody did try to break in by kicking in the door, they wouldn't be able to.
Okay, that's where I was going with this. I was being real funny when I was saying that's covered under property management, but it truly is part of what you provide.
Correct.
Managing that property.
So yes, me managing that property I have to manage the situations that occur. I can only imagine if this was an owner that did not have a property manager and they're all the way in another place and you're trying to scramble to call somebody to get to this property to see what's going on, and trying to, unfortunately, because tenants are emotional just like anybody that's had something like that traumatic happen to them. Somebody stole something off your house, especially a door.
Yes.
And they're trying to describe it. You're trying to figure out what's up. You're trying to look on Craigslist and Facebook to get somebody to go out the same day. Like that can be a hassle.
So that fixing of that door comes out of the reserve that they
absolutely. So the $300 reserve that we hold, it comes out of that. If they have any funds already in their owner account, then we will deduct it from the funds that's in their owner account. That's why I always encourage a lot of my owners to keep some money in there. I understand it's a pandemic. I understand we all have excessive bills. We've kind of been sitting and things of that nature, but you have to make sure you leave that reserve, because it's hard when I make a call like this, or you receive a call or an inquiry about it, to try to send $500, because it was $500. The door was $250, and the labor is about $250.
And that was the same day service too. So
correct.
That was cheap.
Actually, it was more like $520 because I charged them the $20 for that device I had to pay at Home Depot. You know?
Wow. Wow. Huh. I
That's
didn't
crazy.
realize how serious it was.
Yes, ma'am. It is very serious. So that is one of the reasons why I always try to highly recommend that you have someone on a daily basis with boots on the ground.
Mhm.
Self-managing is cool, but I mean, it's when those things like that happen, what do you do?
Yes. All right. So get us going. What are we talking about today? Let's tell the
Right.
audience something
Give me 1 second.
before I have to start coming for you.
Well, let's just start off. Like you said, this topic was about how to find renters. Number one, you can always go through a property manager. Most of the time, they may have a database of people who are already pre-qualified. You just need a match, kind of like a dating service. You got to match the person with the house, the family that fits in the house.
That's a good motto.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dating service.
Family that fits.
Yeah, family
You
that
should
fits.
use that slogan.
That could be your tagline.
Boom, it's stamped.
There you go.
Which one is your property management? What name is that?
Opulent Realty team.
Oh, it's Opulent. And then what we just said, a family that fits.
A family that fits.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, my actual slogan is luxury service with an urban feel.
Oh, fancy.
Well, I guess you don't drink out of a red cup.
Right. You need a glass.
Well, I'm thugging it today. I got the white one.
What's the name?
Okay, so if you don't want to use a property manager or if you don't want to pay for that service, usually if you use a property manager, they will charge you a half month rent for finding a tenant for your property. But it's all negotiable when it comes to the contract. Some are negotiable, some are not, and it just they charge what they charge. If you choose not to use a property manager and you want to find your own tenants, you can advertise the property on Zillow, a Zumper. What are some of the other? Move in Michigan if it's in Michigan, and some other, but mostly the most popular ones are like Zumper and Zillow. I get a lot of leads from Zumper and Zillow.
What about Go Section 8?
That was my next one. GoSection8.com. They want you to, of course, buy an upgraded package, but you can just sign up.
What do you mean by that?
They have different levels in the package, just like any of them.
Who is
Even
they?
if you go to,
Who is they?
Zillow, Zumper.
Oh, to advertise.
To advertise the property.
Okay.
They have the sign up where you just get like basic free services where you can just put that property out there and they'll send you people who actually click on the link and inquire about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a premium, one of the 3 premium packages, then they'll send you all of the tenants information or anybody that's ever did a search, and it's just a lot more detail.
They give you some prospects.
They give you some prospects.
Gotcha.
Yep. So those are pretty much ways that you can advertise and also find the tenants. Now, the most important thing is screening. Like, you'll get calls all day long. You will get inquiries all day long, but now you have to break it down. First, you want to make sure that you set a set of parameters of what you're looking for in a tenant. Okay. Of course, we know that we cannot discriminate race, religion, any of those things, sexual orientation, etc.
Can you discriminate on how many kids they got?
That part.
You cannot.
You cannot discriminate on how many kids they have.
If they cuss you out.
If they're trying to get a 4-bedroom and they got 4 kids and they self and they spouse, so they're better half.
If they qualify for the unit, then you can consider them. You can't say, oh, because you have 6 kids and it's only 4 rooms. Now, it does depend on the size of the room. It's supposed to be 2 children to a room, actually 2 people to a room, but specifically children is supposed to be, if you have, let's say, 3 boys and 1 girl. The girl is supposed to get her own room and the 2 boys can share a room. And then if it's a 3-bedroom house, so 3-bedroom house be the parents' room, the 2 boys in one room and the girl have her own room.
Is this a rule?
It is if you're doing like Section 8 and things of that nature.
Really?
Yeah. Supposed to be 2 bodies to a room.
Wow.
It's more specific, but we're not gonna go that deep.
Right. Yeah, I gotta pay.
But just to say, you shouldn't discriminate against anybody and their children and things of that nature.
Put your Cash App up if they want that information.
That part.
But yeah. So anyway, set a standard, a set of parameters, which means you need to make 3 times the rent. Some people go by credit score. Some people say you got to have at least a 620 credit score. Will you allow pets? Then you'll have to say if you allow pets or don't allow pets.
Can you go back 3 times the rent? So the average rent is what, $850, $900?
Let's just say it's 800. So they need to gross, actually that's another caveat. You need to decide if you're going to look at their gross or their net. Some people base it off of gross. Okay. Some people base it off of gross. So you need to gross $2,400 a month at least to qualify.
Wow. But then, is that factored if it's Section 8? Because doesn't Section 8 pay a portion of the rent?
Yes,
You take
but
that in consideration.
it may not be 3 times. Section 8 does have a little bit of different rules because they kind of already factor in the person's income for you.
Okay.
That's how they pretty much calculate the voucher amount that they'll be able to afford, the number of children, the income that they have, if they have any at all, and what other services that they have, if they receive any other benefits through the Department of Human Services or any other stipends. So they usually do it for you. But even in that instance, if you're looking at a Section 8 tenant, I mean, you could still say, well, do you have an income at all? And see if they still qualify for it. Because the reality is that if this assistance does not pay, do they have the ability to pay anything? Or do they qualify for anything?
So you really kind of got to look at them for if they can qualify without that assistance.
Somewhat. So, for instance, it may not be 3 times, but do they at least have an income that's sustainable to the amount of the rent? So if it's $800 a month, yes, Section 8 is paying, let's say 90% of it. But do you have any other income that's coming in that could help it if Section 8 does not make that payment for some odd reason? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you make $400 out of the $800 that you get in child support and or DHS services and or alimony or whatever the case, other payments you receive. Even cash assistance. So yes, you do have to still look through the whole financial picture, even with Section 8, because again, I like it. Most people love it, but it's still not a guarantee. And
when you talked before, I know you got to go further, but just to clarify, you talked about there was different type of Section 8s, and I think when we were talking on last show, you said people need to understand it's the extended Section 8.
It's state, county.
No, I mean the timeline. Like some people, maybe I'm.
Well, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. So it's state, county, and city. So all of it is state ran, but it's kind of like a trickle effect. Those who are on MISHDA, the Housing Choice Voucher Program, tend to pay out faster if money funds come through. Then it trickles into people who may have qualified through Wayne County, Opulent County, Macomb County, and then it comes down to the local ones, to the cities in which you have a voucher with. And then it's broken down even further because some of these housing choice voucher programs that are put together on grant programs. They have grant writers.
Right.
So you have a mom and baby program. You have maybe a battered women's program, a homeless, veterans. These are Section 8, or these are housing payments that may be temporary because they're based on a grant.
Right. Okay.
And if the grant runs out before this person is placed on a more permanent Section 8 or housing choice program, which is usually on the state, county, or city level, then that's what I was talking about before, where you have an issue where you have people that sit in a house that you really can't evict yet. Majority of the housing counselors, I can honestly say, and I love my housing counselors, they definitely try their best to find permanent housing for the grant recipients. They definitely try to figure out solutions. They work with DHS, they work with other agencies, maybe private donors to get the funds that's needed in order to help at least cushion the blow. So yeah, but pretty much back to finding tenants. Yeah, go Section 8, Zumper, and Zillow are some of the places that you can use if you're not using a property manager. You can also hire your local realtor to help you and put it on MLS or whatever MLS service they use. The only thing about it is that now you're paying a commission to whomever finds you a tenant. So now instead of a half month, you may be paying the entire month of rent because they take the entire month. But for instance, if you hire a realtor, they list the property. Let's say, Emma, you find a tenant for it, and it's my listing. Now we're splitting $800 because let's say the rent is $800. We're splitting it. Not much, but at the end of the day,
we got a tenant.
You have a tenant, but you also, kind of losing a little bit of money. On the investor side, I done lost a whole month.
Right.
So, and I'm hoping that they pay the next month so I can make it.
Right.
But I mean, that's another option. So you have Zumper, Zillow, and what did I say? I'm sorry.
Maybe I'm outdated, but what about Craigslist? Do they still use that?
Yes, people do use Craigslist.
Why you look like that? Why you?
I'm not a fan of Craigslist. It never really goes well. It's like one of those sites that mostly you'll find a house is listed for sale that's really nobody owns it. All that stuff that comes to your office is off of Craigslist.
Damn.
Well, like I said, but here's the thing: use whatever options. Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Believe it or not, like that's a big one.
Facebook is really good. People be sleeping on Facebook.
Facebook Marketplace, Instagram. Honestly, I get majority of the hits when I put it on Instagram or Facebook.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, once you get these people or you choose or they fill out your application, you want to try to make your application as accessible as possible. If you have a website you can use, if you sign up with one of the subscribers like Zillow or Zumper, they do have an option where you can pay for tenant screening. They don't really go too in depth with it. They will give you more of a consumer report as if they've had any past eviction history, but they don't really go too far into it as far as the credit reports and things of that nature. They may do a light criminal history search. They don't go national. It's more like local.
But misdemeanor state. Or even they even look at that?
It depends on the parameters that you set.
Well, let me not say they, you. We're talking about you and what you look for, I guess. So.
Well, what we look for is that you make at least 2.5 times the rent. You have no evictions in the last 3 years, and that you're able to put the utilities in your name. We don't look at your credit score, but we do get a peek into your credit report because it shows the history of your payment of your bills. So we're looking at the payment history on things. We're looking for felonies that include like fraud or larceny, misdemeanors.
Unemployment fraud?
Fraud in general.
Just gotta ask.
My thing is that fraud is fraud. If you doing it, you're gonna do it to me too. What's gonna stop it?
Like you all of a sudden you done turned over a new leaf.
Listen, and
some
it's
people
funny.
do turn over new leaves now.
They do, absolutely,
like
they do.
Well, we ain't gonna find out on my project.
Exactly. So that's the thing that I have to say. I can't let. It's not my personal property, so I can't.
So you can't stray away.
Yeah, I can't take that chance on somebody else, somebody else's property. But no, I actually had a case where somebody submitted an application and it was fraud. And I knew it was fraud because and I'm kind of go off topic here, but we can do this in this forum.
Yeah.
Whenever you submit, let me back up.
Where's your red cup at? Because you're just not your normal, you know.
Right, I got my water jug. I just got a big one
Yeah,
this time.
we see that big ass jug. Where's your red? Where's your red cup? I mean, you normally by now you would have came at me at least once, even while you know what it is? This is all about you on this session. I got it. My bad.
He tired.
My bad. Carry on.
Anyway.
Carry on.
Y'all crazy.
Anyway, your social security number is linked to you, and wherever you were born, it's unique to that area. So most people in Michigan is like 375, 378, something like that.
372.
372, 36.
38.
Yeah. Yeah. In other places, it may start with a 2 and all of those things. Our database specifically pulls it, and it'll tell us what region and everything else. Also, it'll let us know if you are alive or deceased. So this particular application, it's said that you may want to double check, but this social security number that's being used is linked to a deceased person. And most people most people don't know that when people die, their social security number is flagged within the system.
Yes.
So I was like, I had to decline the application. It was so crazy because it was just so passionate. And I just had to really tell him, I was like, listen, I get what you're trying to do and it didn't work. Okay. This CPN number that you got is no good.
What they say when you was honest with them. By the way, you guys have some amazing tans.
Yo,
thank you.
I'm fucking jealous. You're like your skin.
I do look real bronzy. I'm really bronze.
You got like a bronzy there. Marcus got this whole chocolate like.
I'm more chestnut color.
My new man look.
Tay Diggs black.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm bronzy.
Okay, back on topic.
But that's all right. I was in the sun a lot though.
I was
kind of like a
boy look going. Yes.
But no, what I'm just saying is that when you do the screening, you want to look for things of that in the report. You want to look for social security numbers, previous addresses, current addresses. You want to have a full picture as much as possible and compare it to the application. So once they complete the application, you want to go ahead and just kind of go through it. I even give people a call if it doesn't make sense. Like for instance, if I see that if they say, "Oh, I've been in Michigan my entire life," and then when I pull the
they say what?
If they say I lived in Michigan my entire life, I've never lived anywhere else. I lived in Michigan my entire life. I'm from here. Okay, but your social security number is 278 from the South. Let's explain that. Okay, so people are born different places. People move all the time. But I'll ease into it and ask, hey, have you ever, lived in Tennessee or anything or whatnot? Well, no. I was like, you got family there? Yeah, I do. Were you born down there?
Right, I was just thinking that.
And they'd be like, you know what? Yeah, I was born in Memphis, and we came up here when I was like 1, so I didn't really never live down there. People are always telling themselves. That's just the nature of the game. So, okay, that's kind of like a check. All right. I see that you have an address from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever stayed in Texas? No, I ain't never stayed in Texas. Oh, okay. We just kind of put an X next to that. It's like, you just kind of go through it and you just have a conversation with people because, again, people just really kind of telling themselves. And you just want to look at the payment history. You want to look at the income. And once you get the income, if you want to verify the phone number, the address of where they work, you can always do 411.com, reverse phone number search for the business. It should pop up. If it doesn't, you can Google it. Well, we Google everything, right? Google the name of the business and see what address pops up, what phone number pops up. Is it the same as the one on the application? Is it completely different? Make note of the one that's online because numbers do change. All the number change. The one that's out there is not the original one I started with. So at the end of the day, but my address has kind of always been the same. Where our address has been the same. But what I'm just saying is that those are steps you want to take to verify application. To make a long story short, what really gets a lot of owners and others, I ain't gonna say and property managers, is that people run up with money in hand and they take it. They had them fill out an application, they get a copy of an ID, maybe get a copy of a social security card, but they have no information about these people. They don't verify it. They may call a job or phone number that they put on the application and say, does so-and-so work here? I mean, with Google Voice and everything else, I mean, you can have anybody verify your employment. But you kind of want to just do your homework. That's just the biggest thing about finding. You can always find tenants, but it's the verification part that can kind of help you save some of the headache in the future. Let's go back to Section 8. With Section 8, you still want to verify their housing agreement. It's people out here, and listen, I was a victim of it, where they had a fraudulent housing agreement.
What do you mean?
The form is online. The form that they need, the voucher that they present to you, is online. And so you can type in whatever housing company that you want. Southwest Housing Solutions, Detroit Housing Commission. You can put the phone number. Now, we all know it's kind of hard in order to get in touch with some of these people. And now you've given the keys based upon some information that you feel is not fudged and it's true. Just because they have Section 8, because they have this paper, it's not exclusive. It's a fillable document. So what you want to do is make sure you verify with that housing counselor. They also, the emails that they have are connected to that company. So it'll always be Emma at DetroitHousingCommission.org or .com, SouthwestHousingSolutions.com. They will never give you a Gmail address. If they give you a Gmail address, you have definitely concerns. All of these, and you can always call and verify this information with the actual agencies. If you Google their agencies online and call the main number, hey, does Emma Elder work at Detroit Housing Commission? They be like, we don't have anybody here by that name. Thank you. Now it could have been somebody. Listen, it could have been somebody new and they just didn't know. But at the end of the day, as far as you want to go, you can. But if you don't, then you don't have to. Hold on, you guys.
We got a couple questions too. I don't know when you want to answer them on the gram. I don't think we got none on YouTube so far.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. But no, I mean, you want to make sure that you're verifying as much information as you can. Nothing is 100%, but I mean, we have to make sure that we protect ourselves.
Now, what is this thing about? I used to hear all the time, first month's, last month's, and a security deposit. And then it was something about you really couldn't do a first month's, last month's, and a security deposit.
That is true. You cannot. Michigan does not charge us.
My bad.
What's happening?
That's Asia playing around. She's not listening.
I'm listening. There was a video playing in the background.
You need to pay attention.
No, Michigan, you cannot charge somebody for a month they did not live there. So you can't charge last month's rent. Nope. You can only do 1.5 months security deposit plus their first month.
Oh, 1.5 months.
Yes, 1.5 month security deposit.
In their first month's rent.
In their first month's rent. Now, if they move in the middle of the month, you do have the choice if you want to prorate it for that current month or the next month or the third month. But you got to give them a proration if they don't start off at the first of the month.
Got it.
Now, what my office does, we don't do prorations at the first of the month. You need your 1.5 month security deposit plus your first month's rent. And then the second month, we will prorate you for whatever the data that you move into the property.
Okay.
Yep. It's just, first of all, it's easier, number one, because the owner gets all the funds that they need up front. And then secondly, it's kind of a relief when a tenant has to only pay, if they move in the middle of the month, half of that month's rent. So they've been saving and making sure they had their very first payment when they move in. And they have all the money now. Great. Then the following month, they're like, dang, I was a little short because I missed a couple of days when I was moving. I had to buy some toiletries. I had to buy a couch, whatever. I'm going to be short. Oh, no, I'm not going to be short because I only got to pay half a month. I only got to pay $425 versus $800. So it's like when tenants try to move in the middle of a month, they expect you, because I've argued with plenty of people. They're like, well, I plan on moving in on the 15th, so why would I have to pay a full month? Because you get prorated the next month. That don't make sense. I mean, I understand how it looks, but the numbers talk, which means you're still getting that same credit, just not in the current month in which you're moving in. And like I explained to them, it helps you. Because when I was a tenant, it was helpful for me to be like, again, moving is cost you money. Whatever, even if you're moving in a car, you got plastic bags and stuff, you still moving. Like,
Right.
you got to do something. You got to pay for some gas money at least.
So we talk about what the tenant has to bring. You know, your screening as the property manager on behalf of the owner, and what the tenant has to bring, their credentials and their shit is in order. What does the owner have to bring to this from a tenant standpoint? Like the required stuff, working water,
Yes.
So the security doors.
The owner is required to create and have a safe and habitable property. Okay. Running, functioning water, no leaks, no heat. If it heat in the wintertime, especially here in Michigan, that works, which means the entire house is warm, not just an area, not just a spot, you know.
And don't go in the basement over there in the corner.
Exactly, it don't work over there. No,
you gotta cookie room because the vent not working.
No. So adequate housing, walls, no holes, something that pretty much I always say that either yourself or you, if you love your mother, because I ain't gonna say your mama. Some people are like, I don't like my mama, so I'll stick her anywhere. But anyway, it's something that if you have respect for your parent, whatever parent or person you have respect for, if you want them to be, that's the way they're supposed to keep it. You're supposed to make sure that all the bills are paid, water bills, as far as before the tenant acquires it.
Okay, that's what I was because
so for instance, yeah. So here's the thing: as an owner, you're supposed to make sure when they go in there, it's a zero water bill. So when they go to establish it, they're not paying somebody else's old bill or your bill from it being vacant. Making sure that.
Sorry to interrupt. So if it's Detroit and it's a 300 account, and that's the meter that comes with the owner, that bill should be paid, because if the tenant try to get their water on in their name and they're told, oh no, we can't put water in your name because
the owner has a bill already outstanding.
Or the water department transfers it to,
or they will transfer. If the tenant wants to take responsibility of it, they will transfer from that 300 to that 301 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 3.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah. But for the most part, no. Making sure that no leaks, no gas leaks, the electrical is in working order. They're able to plug things up without getting electrocuted. No tape on the plugs, all that ghetto stuff. No, you can't do all of that.
Now, is it extra
and ghetto?
House?
You said what?
Requirements if they
no, it's the same requirements for all. Actually, you should use Section 8 standards when you're even trying to rent the property to somebody who's a private pay. Like I just had recently had a house that a lady had a Section 8 tenant for the last 15 years. The unfortunate part, the lady passed away, and she has to re-rent it. So she was referred to me by somebody else, and we went through the property and did an assessment. And I told her, she's like, I want another Section 8 tenant. I said, okay, great. The house is nice. She did all the major things. The roof is new, no leaks. The walls have been painted. They're neat, no holes. She put down new flooring. She did quite a bit of work to this property already before I seen it. But I told her, in order for you to qualify, you have lead windows in here.
You have
the old lead windows, the crank windows.
Oh, wow.
So exactly, a lot of those have lead paint. And I was like, it's not going to pass a Section 8 inspection.
Really?
No.
Is that one of the steps?
Unless they've been, first of all, let's just start with the basics. They didn't open and close properly. Let's just start with that. And then let's just start with
even after you did like this?
Yeah, when you did like that, it opened up. But then when you did like this, it didn't come back. And so, which, they're drafty. They create high heating bills. It's unsafe. Somebody can get their fingers stuck. Kids get their fingers stuck. And then it was chipping paint on them and around them. So
So is that part of when Detroit says that you have to have the rental compliance, or you have to be in rental compliance?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
And is that your job as the property manager to make sure that for the properties that you're managing, that your owner is in rental compliance? That's part of
absolutely,
what you do as a service for them. Or like
absolutely.
if they come to you and say, "I want you to manage my properties," do you have a checklist of saying this is where you need to be before I'm going to accept you as a client, or you kind of just go in and then do it after the fact?
I go in and do it after the fact. So put like this: if it's the house is vacant, I'll go in and do a walkthrough, and I will do a checklist. And mostly I do it in my phone. Of okay, flooring is the carpet has holes in it, the windows are ratted, tatted, would need to be replaced or repaired, and I'll make notes for those things, so that we can start a conversation with the owner.
Because
You
if
know,
they're asking you to bring them a tenant, you're saying you want a good tenant, and you want
correct,
a paying tenant. This
correct,
is where you need to be.
absolutely,
Thanks.
absolutely. So back to the house I was talking about. You know, she followed all of my advice. She had, I mean, it was kind of costly, but she had all the windows replaced that did not open and that had lead or a possibility of having lead. Now she's rental ready, and I'm showing this house this weekend.
Okay. What about insurance?
Yes,
Definitely got to get that.
definitely have to have insurance, and you.
Do you require it as a property manager for your clients, or you just saying they definitely? I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just.
Well, I do. It's in our property management agreement. We do require that they have insurance. Um, does everybody have it? No,
But
but
this is for what? Structure and liability, just the
this is for
basics.
structure, liability, um, and any other coverage you want to have, because there's different writers, and I'm not gonna get into insurance because I don't do insurances.
Right.
But how much, whatever you want to be covered for,
But if it's a rental, why wouldn't it just be structure and liability? I mean, like the basics.
I
Because
mean,
wouldn't the person that's renting the property need to have their own content?
yes, they would have their own renters policy, and I do
Yeah.
put that in. Put like that, some property managers will make it a requirement for tenants to have renters insurance.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make it a requirement, but we put in the lease in the additional section. It is highly recommended. And we also put in there that we are not responsible for any of the items that are damaged due to fire, wind, sewer backup in the basement, because that's a big one, especially here in
Mm-hmm.
Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the pipes in the ground are 100 years old. The sewers are
Mm-hmm.
old.
Yep.
Some of the pipes everywhere are old. Okay, and it is a possibility that this basement that's newly finished may back up with sewage.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And your
and
contents get messed up.
that's a
That's what
huge
you're.
fight that most property managers, owners, and et cetera have, because people move couches, TVs. They got their whole
Mm-hmm.
life out, kids, toys, clothes,
Mm-hmm.
washers, dryers, everything.
Right.
And now it's ruined with feces.
Right.
Yep.
Well, like I told them, that is the reason why we highly recommend that you have renter's insurance, because
Mm-hmm.
your renter's insurance will cover the
Your
value of those
contents.
items. Get them
Right.
replaced, get them cleaned. That is not our responsibility,
Mm-hmm.
because it is an unforeseen
Act of God or
act of God
incident.
or event. I mean, living
Right.
in a home or living anywhere.
Right.
If the house was to catch fire, again, your contents within would be covered
Right.
by your renter's insurance, because
Right.
the owner's policy usually only covers the actual structure.
Right. That's why I was asking that question, because a lot of people, unfortunately, I see it with rental and I see it with land contracts. They don't understand the importance of having that content insurance for any, and I call it anything you can physically walk in the house and pick up and take out. This is your shit.
Absolutely.
That's
Yep.
content. That's
Yep.
content. You know, the structures and shit that you got to try to unscrew and it or won't come off. That's your
Correct.
structural dwelling. You know, so that's why I asked that question, because people don't understand that.
They
They
don't
think if the
understand it.
owner has insurance, they're
So
covered,
they're covered. Yep.
and they're
Your
not.
insurance will cover, or you owe me for my stuff. We don't owe you for anything,
I don't owe
baby.
you for shit, but I'm gonna
Mm-mm.
get my expenses right
Facts.
here. Yeah,
Yep, that's
yeah.
it. I mean, and again, and I always highly recommend it, because honestly, the rates are usually so cheap. $30,000 can be up to like $25 a month. I mean, let's be
Especially if
honest.
they find out it's structure on the house, if the insurance company knows that the house, the structural part is insured, they really don't. It's minimal for content insurance. It's
Yeah.
minimal. It's been minimal for years.
Yeah.
It's probably the cheapest you can get.
Yeah, I think when I had my apartment, I paid like $14 a month for.
It's really.
I think mine was like 11. And I had like 15 or $20,000 in coverage.
The
Yeah.
only caveat now is, and a lot of people don't know this, because that's unfortunately one of the reasons, and getting off topic a little bit, but that's one of the reasons that we moved from the city. I want to come back. My husband's like, no. We didn't know that we needed.
I just bougie, that's all.
No, that's him.
They're rich.
I'm blaming that all on him because I'm Detroit.
You the wife, you make the decision. The women always make the final choice.
Not in that part, but we didn't realize that we should have videotaped everything in our house.
Oh.
Because that's your record of all of
Yes.
your big ticket items.
Yes,
you know
it
what
is.
I'm saying? Your TVs, your computers, whatever. So if for some reason, because we had theft back to back, if for some reason things come up missing, it's not, because you don't always have your receipts,
Nope.
but you got a videotaping of everything. And that's what we had to learn the hard way with that.
So if we're going off topic, what I learned with that too is even if you don't have you need to keep a copy of the receipts. And in this day and age, especially now, they're not taking that as an excuse that you don't have it. Because now you can send it to your email, you can scan it in, you can put it in a shoebox. Actually, they want you to have these receipts in a vault somewhere.
But see, I keep all my receipts anyway, just from business. So whenever I buy stuff,
because you're writing off a lot of shit with your cheap.
I was about to say, you're in business. The average consumer really buys something.
Her cheap ass writing off everything, so she got all her receipts anyway. I can't.
Anyway, that's not the point. The point is I keep all that. And another reason I keep receipts is because one time my bag got sent somewhere else, and it's because I had receipts. Whatever was missing, I was able to get reimbursed. So every time I buy stuff, and they always ask you want to email a receipt, I say yes.
Yeah.
And then I can save them all in like a folder.
Yeah. No, I mean, I got shoeboxes and shoeboxes of receipts. My husband, look, I'm like, dog, you want to scan them? And until I can scan them, or you can pay them little girls to scan them, they're going to go in the shoebox.
Yeah, I throw mine in the envelope, like a big envelope or whatever, and I try to label each one of them to keep track of it. But if I don't have the time to do it, I just throw it and stuff it in the envelope.
I mean, you have to. I mean, I didn't want to get off topic, but people don't understand.
No, but this is important. And this is the thing. This is what takes my lease signings so long, because especially when I have young couples with their first places, I try to educate them and let them know, like, get renter's insurance. It can put you in a better position because, first of all, it covers if your car gets broken into. First of all,
yeah.
What I learned, I'm not going to say it's correct, but what I learned was when my car got broken into, I had renter's insurance. They covered the theft of my computer.
Yep. Yes.
Your car insurance is like the owner's insurance on a rental property. It covers the vehicle and the structure, but it doesn't cover anything in the inside.
But your rental insurance, 100 facts.
Absolutely. Anything. Yep. So, yeah, your cell phone gets stolen out of your car, whatever, like it covers those things.
But you know what else I have on my truck since it's in the company there? I had this thing called inland marine policy. So it's like for $6,000.
I can't spell that. What is it?
It's INLAND. So it's like inland marine, like a marine or like the Army Marine.
What if a frog jump in there and piss everywhere?
No, so what it is like it's $6,000 worth of coverage. If anybody like breaking my truck and my tools or anything gets stolen, laptop, I get a check as long as I can provide the receipt and pay whatever. I think my deductible like $500 or something, but it only cost me, I think it's like $17 every 2 months or something like that because they come out of my account automatically.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so they bust my window and take something, everything missing.
Where you at?
I'm at the office. Somebody pulled up. Let me see who this is.
I was asking Asia where she at.
Oh, I'm up at Zoom.
Good, because I'm gonna come get that. We're gonna use that marine insurance now.
I'm like, come get what? What I miss?
Marine insurance. Shoot.
Yeah, I got it through Allstate from when I first had my first commercial policy with them. And he told me about it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Then I ain't got to buy everything.
Listen, I know that, everybody has a lot of bills, but I do stress to renters to please have renter's insurance because it may be a time where you have to use it. And I hate going to properties and having to tell tenants when they are screaming at me about how their items got messed up, especially during a basement flood. And I'm like, unfortunately, it's nothing. Oh, we're gonna take you to court. I mean, you're more than welcome to,
You're
but
gonna waste your money,
don't
fam.
waste the money. It was your responsibility. This is something that we could not prevent. And these are just acts that happen when you live in a home. Even if the sewer line is brand new, it's still a possibility that it could back up. Um,
All right, my IG live about to end in like 30 seconds, so I'm gonna read off the questions real quick and then I'm gonna start a new one. So
okay.
somebody said,
Why
also,
nobody? What happened to this private chat thing?
it should be still up there.
Usually
We
I see.
said 30 seconds though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, the private chat that's on YouTube, but hold on, it's like
Oh,
20
the
seconds.
30
So one question was, I had them list or a statement, I had them list the previous landlord, and then they check the records to verify that's the owner, because some people say their cousin is the
Yes.
landlord.
Yep. You can do that too.
Somebody said they once had a Section 8 tenant come up to the lease signing without her deposit. She was waiting on the grant, and that took 3 months.
Yep. That's another one.
And I think that was it. Let me stop this so I can save it. Oh, I didn't even save it. I waited too late. Oh well.
Sorry, y'all. But no, those were good. Yeah. So okay. Here's another thing. When it comes to the Section 8, the Section 8, and I ain't gonna say Section 8. When you're working with third party agencies or third parties, and they are supposed to pay the deposit for the tenant, sometimes it can take a minute. But if you can get some type of commitment letter from them, which most of them, if they are a reputable agency, will give you some type of commitment letter or some type of promise to pay. Then you can kind of use that. But it's still no guarantee. They don't guarantee you anything because the majority of the money that they're paying on the person's behalf is coming from a grant. And they will tell you, we didn't guarantee that we would give it to you. We were just saying that when it comes in, you'll be in the line for it. The property owner, where can I find the requirements for Section 8? And what is the process to get it?
Oh, you ain't have to read it right now. I was just putting it up.
No,
So.
I'm just saying, it popped up. I was excited. I hadn't seen it.
I'm not. Oh, that is a big one. That's James. That's my guy. James supports everything we do.
Oh, tell James, what up, though? Somebody said, what up from Miami? Sounds like it's nice and warm there.
Hey, Miami.
Right.
I'll be there in 2 weeks. Be there in 2 weeks.
I won't be there till Labor Day.
We'll be there in we'll be in Myrtle Beach in 2 weeks. Yes.
But
answer James' question first.
The requirements for Section 8 depend upon the agency, but basically you want to, whatever city the house is located in, that's what you want to follow, the city inspection. Follow that. East Point has a very detailed, the city of East Point in Michigan has a very detailed list of things that they require you to do. But really, if you pass a rental registration or city Detroit inspection or any city where the house is inspection within the city, Section 8 will pass the property. So it's the same requirements. It may vary slightly when it comes to what are some of the variances that I've seen. They may want you to put a different cover over an electrical socket because it might have a crack in it or something like that, or fix a piece of molding that might be loose, paint a windowsill that might be chipping right now or have a crack in it, or seal it. Something very small, but the city inspections and the Section 8 inspections are pretty much parallel. So you can use a city inspection for your requirements, and most of the time you can download those requirements off of whatever municipality the house is located. And the process to accept Section 8 tenants is, first of all, the Section 8 tenants are the ones that accept you. So they come with the voucher, they like your home, they complete the application.
Oh, because they
got
the
once they complete the application and you do your due diligence, you would get a copy of their housing choice voucher paper, letter. It comes in all different forms, but it'll have the agency in which the voucher is issued. So Detroit Housing Commission, Southwest Housing Solutions. What's another one? It's several different ones.
Right.
Okay, so Plymouth Housing, River Rouge
Yeah, yeah.
Housing.
Inkster
It'll say that.
housing,
Yeah,
all
so
of
it'll
that.
have the agency name, the address, the phone number. Sometimes it'll have the actual housing counselor they're assigned to, the specific person, their phone number, their email.
Marcus,
And
you really look different. That's
What Erica said. She's like, who is this?
damn. You really look like. I mean, right now you're really sounding educated and the tan. Carry on.
oh,
That was Cabo. That's what a vacation do to you.
right.
Yes.
I need another one right now.
Well, carry on. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I'm just saying. No, I mean, those are the things that you would do to in order to accept a Section 8 tenant. Majority of the time, they are responsible for paying at least their own deposit. Here's a great thing to know about Section 8. Sometimes it may take up to 90 days for you to get your first payment. Okay. So it's not an instantaneous thing all the time. So the first month, you be like, okay, I didn't get any money yet. It's a check in the mail. They're like, no, we're still processing it. And it can take up to 90 days for you to get your first payment.
Now, how does that impact the seller? If it's taking up to 90 days,
It impacts the owner because they don't have any money. Yeah.
But so
But they gonna backdate it though, right?
Yeah, they will backdate it. Yeah,
so
they will
you as a
backdate
property manager found this tenant to be good to go, and they're in there, and all the credentials are in order. However, first payment may not come for 90 days.
for 90 days. So you will get they will get you your first check within the first 90 days, but they try to backdate it where you get your first, the second, and all of them at the same
so you'll
time.
get a lump.
You'll get a lump sum.
Okay. Have you ever had to have that conversation with them?
I always listen, as I'm going into detail now about Section 8, that's why I say I laugh when people are like, yeah, you should get a Section 8 tenant. It's guaranteed. It's this and this and that.
They
Like,
do their neck like that?
yeah, it's guaranteed. That's guaranteed money.
Okay.
So I always let them know what the pros are, which is that it is a consistent income. It can be consistent. And I let them know the cons. It's a steady income. Yeah, steady. Thank you very much. But the cons is that it can take a while to receive. If the funding is interrupted, like during our pandemic,
it is what it is. You gotta
it
hang
is what
in.
it is.
Now, question for you.
Yep.
And this is going back to when we're, I guess, the city of Detroit versus other cities, because this is what up though, Detroit. When we're pulling blights and other things for some of our investors, and we're getting chewed out because we put up this long list of blights on their closing statement. Sometimes they've been hit with violations for not being compliant with inspections.
Yep.
Or whatever they need to do for registrations, things like that. Is that the property manager's role to have gotten them registered, or how do they?
No, it's the owners. It's the owners. Essentially, everything is the owner's responsibility. It's their
even if they
property.
hired someone. I get that.
If they hire someone, it's still their responsibility. Absolutely. And my property management contract says that it's your responsibility to obtain these items. But what we do as a service is we will assist you in this process. Okay, so we'll assist you in obtaining, giving you information that you need. We're here to help you. But at the end of the day, it's not our responsibility.
What if it's an out-of-state owner?
It can still be done out of state. They can make a phone call. They can schedule it online. Like,
do you see these same fees assessed in other cities?
Absolutely. It's actually it's even worse in other. I'm gonna take that statement back. It's not even worse. It's required. Period. Like,
there's none.
And I go back to East Point because East Point will send notices to all people that they have on file. They will put a big sticker on the door to the tenant. They will advise the tenant not to pay because this house is not registered as a rental unit. They have not complied with city inspection. Is like they don't play, and they come out on a regular basis, and they will actually try to find the owner, and they will send you find the owner and send you a ticket and a court date. I had to go to court date for one of them, and it was in East Point.
So you really have East Point a bad taste in your mouth?
No, I don't have a bad taste in my mouth. That was an oversight on our part. We didn't renew our rental registration. That was an oversight. But what I'm just saying is that they were persistent with it. Unlike Detroit, it's kind of like they'll write it, put it in the plastic bag, hang it on the door, it'll blow away. they'll kind of pursue it, and nobody ever hears anything else from it.
And then we
Right.
got all these blight violations.
Exactly. Then all these blight violations, because all these missed court dates and etc. But the thing about it is that Detroit is still a little bit more lenient than other suburban cities. So if you are going to manage properties in the suburban city, you have to make sure that all T's are crossed and I's are dotted.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
they won't allow. And the thing about it is they're so in tune with their city. They know when a house has been vacant and when it's a tenant and when it's an owner.
And I think that probably has a lot to do with their systems being connected.
It does.
You know, a sale took place.
Absolutely.
It's an LLC versus an individual.
Absolutely.
You know, the property transfer affidavit wasn't filed.
Correct.
We see a sale, we immediately transfer into the tax, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, it's not like you got to go to 3 different divisions or departments to make
most of the suburban ones, they're all in the same building, in the same row.
You know,
actually, they're all in the same area. It's just different glass windows. Like
exactly. Or if it's not different glass windows, it's just the address. Once you plug it in, you plug one thing, it automatically populates to bam, bam, bam. I mean, hell, I've had the water department call me talking about we see a sale, but we don't have a final read read yet. It's like, y'all ain't got nothing better to do. I'm not even. But you know, really though, I mean, it cuts down on the bullshit. If I'm.
It does. That's why they're so calm when we go to scream at them. They're so calm. They're like, listen. Our shit is done. Yeah, it's you that messed up, and they confidently will tell you it's you.
And you going back to your records like, damn, was it really me?
Yeah, you do. I know that I did. No, they like, no, you didn't. It ain't on here. Like, no. But that's very important. That speaking of blight tickets, it's very important that your property manager and/or the owner stays in contact, and that they stay in contact with the tenant and send them notices about if their trash cans, about when the trash can is supposed to go out, when it's supposed to be pulled back in. I do drive-bys all the time. Crazy part about it was, remember, Asia, when I sent you that screenshot, because there are different apps and websites and things that you can subscribe to. Mine is it's a City of Detroit website called See Click Fix.
Yeah.
And with See Click Fix, neighbors, anybody can put stuff in there regarding things that's going on in the neighborhood. If trash is piled too high in front of a house, 1234 Main Street has debris that's been in the yard. It needs to be picked up, and it's seen by city officials. People work this actual app. So anyway, there was a property that one of our clients was purchasing, and the tenant left the trash can out for too long, and somebody put it in the app. And anytime you set your parameters in this app, like the areas that I manage, I get notifications from See Click Fix. That address popped up, and their trash can was on. So I screenshotted the agent and then sent it to her. I was like, tell the owner to tell that tenant to bring the trash can in, because it's going to give us a blight ticket, and we're not going to pay that. Because
how many people use that? Shit.
Not many, but those are some of the resources that, again, would set you apart from using professionals.
And I hear, I mean, you're right though, because I hear it quite often when we're preparing for closing, and we come up with all these blights that the owner had no idea that they were violations, and that these were current. I'm not talking some previous. I'm talking there, and they're like, my property manager should have taken care of that, or my property manager didn't even tell me that I had these blight tickets.
Yeah, or they coming out when I get ready to go pull my permit.
Yeah. Now, I'm not gonna say we sit here all day and check. Of course not. But what I'm saying is that if you're in tune with your portfolios and your properties, and you just send out friendly reminders, hey, trash cans can't go out before 6 p.m. the day before. So sit it out 6 p.m. or after. Trash pickup, you have to have it in by 6 p.m. the day the trash is picked up. So you can sit it out. If your trash day is Thursday, you sit it out 6 p.m. on Wednesday. You bring it in by 6 p.m. on Wednesday, or at least by the end of the night. Let's say 10 at the latest. When you come home from work or have somebody pull it in. I was out of town for a week, and I still text home, bring that trash can in. I still see it sitting outside because I got the Ring doorbell, but still.
Right. Bring that can in. Right. Now let me ask you, what about now I lost my train of thought. Damn.
I'm gonna just go. The next step is
Keep going.
flight tickets. When it comes to yard waste, you have to make sure that the tenants know how much yard waste they can put out there, what days, um,
Don't
how to
confuse
stack
bulk
it,
with regular.
bulk from regular,
Yep.
recycling. If they have a recycling bin, what goes in the recycling bin and what doesn't. If it's a neighborhood that recycles, like a lot of the Bagley neighborhood, they have the blue bins, which is for recycling. What are some other ones? Uh, the blight tickets for the yard, overgrown grass. That's a common one. And then
Mhm.
in the lease, we put in ours that the tenant is responsible, especially if it's an entire house or a whole house. They're responsible for yard maintenance.
I was
They're
gonna ask you about
responsible for cutting the grass.
Yep.
Shouldn't get no more than probably 1 foot high at the most, and that's still too much. And they're responsible for removing all shrubs and cutting all shrubs and debris away from the fence line. Redford is really big about that. They don't care if it's your backyard. They will go in your backyard, take a photo, and let you know your grass is too high and the shrubs have grown into the fence. They sent me a notice like that. I'm like, okay. So you would contact the tenant and let them know to take care of it, and it's a part of their lease. You have to put these items in a part of in the lease and let them know um, about it. If they don't take care of it within a timely manner, which you want to give them at least 2 weeks for something like that, and you go ahead and take it, you can charge it back to them on their tenant account. So yes, it is the responsibility. If they don't take care of it in a timely manner, you can pay to have it done and then charge them back. Now, they're like, well, what's a chargeback? Chargeback is if I have to take care of it, I want my money back. So I'm
Facts.
gonna put it on your tenant. So at the beginning of the month, you owe $800. No, you owe $850 now because you owe me $50 for getting that stuff taken care of.
I got 2 questions, but we got an audience question, so I'll wait.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. AK got a question.
Yes, so from a title perspective, what is the biggest concern during this COVID time?
Is she talking about from a property management? Well, I know it's
Oh,
AK.
obviously, she said a title perspective.
I'm gonna partially answer that. So what I've learned,
Yeah.
like with this Balfour house, due to COVID, insurance on properties is through the roof if it's vacant. It was already high because it was vacant. Like so, Kirksville, they told me $7,000. I was like, I paid that for a house. Like
What did the insurance was $7,000?
they said it was like 6,800 or something, not around
Did they
the.
say why?
They said it's because squatter rates are higher now because now with these evictions restrictions about to lift, it's about to be way more people squatting
I
now.
got one even better for you.
So
And damaging your shit.
higher.
I got one even better.
Shit too.
Go ahead, Mark.
COVID. People hadn't been working for months. What's the best way to get some quick money? You burn that month down. That's why it's so high. Have y'all really been going through the city or driving? Well, I mean, you're probably in the office all the time.
Don't do me like that.
Oh, I'm just
I feel
saying.
like you
Being out in the
right
field, I
there.
have seen more 4-alarm fires than ever. Than when we were in the period of time where, it was really depressed and all the foreclosures was going on and people was burning their house down to either pay off the mortgage or get some money.
Fire damages,
Mhm.
fire
Yeah,
claims.
well, I see a lot of a lot of houses that, like, what? This was just somebody was just living in here, and now it's burnt to a crisp.
Facts.
So yeah, that's the unfortunate part.
I mean, well, for us, from a title perspective, the biggest concern is the gap. And what I mean by the gap is, and a lot of people don't get it, there's always a gap. Like today's date is March 19th, and what we call the effective date or the certification date with the county records, we'll use Wayne County, for instance, any cities in Wayne, is probably like January, middle of January. So that means it's a lot of stuff. You guys could be making a deal right now. I have no clue about it. You done sold on some shit. You done sold it by quick claim deed and paid the money, and then you can bring it to me for a resale for that same owner. And because there's nothing of record, I have no clue what transaction just transpired over here. All I can do is ensure the transaction in front of me. Once the records catch up and COVID die down and everybody back to work, I may have 2 deeds for the same deal on record.
Yeah.
Now we got to deal with which deed is valid, who has an actual interest, who recorded first, And that's what falls into our title claims and our insurance gap from a title perspective. So COVID it's scary right now, but we have to deal with it from an insurance company perspective.
That's true.
Yep.
You know, I mean, and unfortunately, unlike the insurance company for the structural dwellings in Asia's case, from a title insurance perspective, they haven't changed the rates. The rates are still what they are, minimal. And we just have to deal. I do have a question for you though, Marcus. From a property management standpoint, if a tenant is in dispute about wanting to pay, how do you handle that? Now I know last session you put us up on game about being able to put putting payments in escrow through the kiosk.
Yeah, I mean, we take a personal approach. So just like anything, you kind of got to talk person to person. I understand you're having a hard time. We're all having a hard time. We're doing the best that we can. Is there anything that you can pay? Because some people feel like, well, if I don't have it all, I'm not paying nothing. Or because they have dealt with people that are like, well, I don't want just the $800. I mean,
they don't have that good faith mentality where here's all I got. I'm gonna give you a little bit and I gotta take care of the family. I want to show you.
And some people just don't know because they've dealt with property managers and say, well, we don't take partial payments. Well, at this time and moment, we need as much as we can get. Now, at the end of the day, I do explain to them, yes, you can make a partial payment, but it does not negate the fact that you still owe the entire amount. Yes, you will receive a 7-day notice in the mail for your delinquent amount. Okay, but that is a notice that we have to send out in order to keep you aware of what's going on.
You got
if you don't pay it within the 7 days, yes, it is a possibility you may get it will. Well, I ain't gonna say possibility. It will get sent to our attorney, and the attorney will file a case unless it is paid before. If it is paid during that time when a case is filed, then you won't have to worry about it. We'll end the case. But for the most part, I mean, we just try to collect any way we can, as far as talking to them, making some type of arrangement. If you get paid every 2 weeks, can we get $150 every 2 weeks until you're able to catch up?
Is that your process right now because of COVID? Or just...
No, it's my process for the most part because we're just trying to make sure that we save face because it's people that we're dealing with and everybody. We live in a city that is an urban city. I mean, listen, you can say people play games, which they do. I mean, that's just honest. But sometimes you got to play the game with them in order for you to win.
I feel you.
I mean, you got to play the game in order for them to win. Because listen, being tough tone out here and you, give my money, la la la. You're not about to get
shut down on your ass.
They're gonna shut down and they can be like, take me to court because they know that I still got a chance to win my case and or I still got time and I'm not giving you a dime.
Because I'm the tenant.
I'm the tenant. I'm not giving you a dime.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, listen, I understand we all want our total $800, but if somebody can give me 2 now, 2 later, whatever. Nah, what I will say is that it will be another conversation. Like, listen, we agreed about the specific amount. You have to be specific with these terms. Now, you just can't say, oh, you pay me $200. You can pay $200 until this date. After that, we need the full balance. If you don't have a full balance by this date and time, then we cannot accept any more partial payments. We will have to continue to go to court, and we will have to go and pursue it.
And your specifics are in writing, I assume.
Specifics are in writing.
I will say this: everybody rich because I went to the mall today at like 2:00, and that thing was jumping. You hear me? Wasn't nowhere to park.
I don't see no semi-cars at the gas station.
What mall did you go to?
All the handicaps was full, dog. The handicap.
What mall did you go to?
I went to Oakland because I had some coupons I needed to use.
Oh, you was like, oh Lord.
Why you tell me? I need some shoes.
My bad. I was eating it. I'm like, this mug is jumping.
Ain't no shoes left, Emma. They done bought them all.
Victoria's Secret, it wasn't no smell goods left. All the Pure Seduction was almost gone. I'm like, where's my spray?
No, I don't even go for the Pure Seduction. reduction anymore. I'm over at Bath and Body Works. They got the
I'm
Sweet
like, no,
Sensation or some shit. You can get 3 of those for what you get at Vicky. But
everything
was it a line
gone.
for them too?
Yeah,
I'm
it's a lot for them,
gone,
Pandora was probably jumping.
man.
dog. The Tracy got the smell good 3 for $30, so I go get lotion,
And
the
the good
shower
bras
gel,
and shit.
and the
Yeah,
spray,
the
and everything
I
on
feel
sale.
you.
And I'm like,
I feel
I
you.
know people don't even. I didn't know people work for. Oh, that's gone. The purple one's
Listen,
gone. Love
today I
school.
was at the gas
The
station. I was
romance gone.
so mad at the gas station. Cause I wasn't no pumps left because everybody got their STEMI cards.
So everybody in premium.
Yeah, all you see
gas
is all these
station.
old ass Trailblazers and what's the other ones?
I'm not
And them-
freaking going there with you with the Trailblazer and the STEMI card in the same.
Dog, them Trailblazers take up a lot of gas. Them some big tanks.
Listen, them yeah, and them Envoys, them Trailblazers and Envoys.
And them
my
old
God.
Suburbans and the ones who still got them old Excursions.
Yes.
That's $100 fill up on
All
regular.
you
So
see
what
is
is it? So what are those stores where everybody be buying the crab legs and the steaks and shit? Because I can't eat it. So
Well, I ain't even been to Eastern Market because I know Eastern Market on Swole. I ain't going down. I told
man, no. That's why I wouldn't even go down there to get mine. I would go to either Westport Market on Woodward or either the one out here in Livonia.
So all the meat gone too?
Hell, ain't no steak left. They don't want
potatoes gone, crab legs gone, potatoes gone.
They said potatoes gone.
Now in
They
that
go in the crab board.
In that same sentence, Marcus, how many times did your bank account say ding, ding, ding?
Lamb chops, them gone.
I can honestly say though, listen, it's been a great experience at this moment. We're getting a lot of stuff done. So right now it is pretty sweet.
When does evictions lift? I mean, I don't want to see anyone get evicted. That's not what I want
Well,
at all.
The CDC restriction is supposed to be lifted by March 31st of this year. But we're not sure if they're going to extend it. I think they're going to extend it because the bill was just passed. The 1.9 trillion was just passed. Rental assistance really is just now starting. Majority of the applications just opened up on Monday.
I saw that.
So
So how does the rental assistance help you guys and as property managers and owners?
Well, it helps my company because we're paper pushers. I'm a paper pusher.
You're gonna get yours.
Listen, people are like, what do you mean when you say you're a paper pusher? All my stuff is in order. We got leases that's legible and scanned in. We have rental ledgers that are professional and scanned in. Actually, they can get theirs online. It's readable. It's accurate as possible as I can make it. All of our stuff is in order. If you copies of IDs, if they need social security card, my
so you're submitting a packet to get a reimbursement of back pay due to you and your owners.
Absolutely.
So then,
here's the thing.
Like a grant. So this is money just to give into the landlords and the property managers because of the loss that they've taken due to COVID.
No,
so there's no going back.
It's not.
Nope. Help me
This
understand.
is funds that was allocated for renters who fell behind on their rental payments.
So the renter has to submit the app, or it goes back to what you talked about last.
Well, put like this: before the renter had to submit. Okay, the first program was the eviction diversion program, which is the EDP. That ended December 31st.
And that's the one where you was helping them with the apps.
Absolutely, that's the one I was printing out the applications, submit. When I send a 7-day notice, I submit their rental ledger so they know where they are and what payments they made and didn't pay. And behind that was the EDP application.
Okay.
If they wanted an electronic version, we had sent it out to them via email.
Okay.
Okay. So yes, that was that program. That ended December 31st. The funding was exhausted by December 31st. They paid as many applications as they could, and then the rest they kind of put on hold until this new bill was signed and they wanted to see what was next. So this new program specifically for the city of Detroit is called the CERA, CERA. It's the COVID Emergency Rental Assistance. So with that COVID emergency, the CERA is kind of like the EDP, But
Yeah.
now they're going to cover any utility payments for a tenant and or a landlord. So for instance, if you have a Section 8 tenant, majority of the time you are responsible for one of the utilities if you ask for the full voucher amount. So again, if it's an $800 voucher amount, out of that, most of the time the owner is responsible for paying one of the three utilities: lights, gas, or water. Majority of the time we pick up something like water because even though it's not very consistent, it's lower than somebody's light bill or gas bill. Okay. But what that being said is that during this pandemic, if you had to pick up those items, or if you, for instance, people who may own apartment buildings, you have to pick up that anyway, and you might have to pick up the water and you may pick up the gas. But anyway, it's helping them now recover some of the utilities that they had to pay and keep on during the pandemic while people were not paying as well. So that's the difference with this program. Plus, this application is 100% online. And the sweet part about it is that it's online. They fill it out. They put your information in there. I'll get an email. So if they put my information, my company information in email, I'll get an email that says, "Hey, Miss So and So or Mr. So and So has applied for rental assistance." Let me see. I'll read to you what it says.
I posted the link in the comments. I found it.
Yeah, it says on behalf of your tenant blank, she has requested assistance with her past due rent. This process takes both the tenant and the landlord property owner to complete the application to determine eligibility and pay off rental arrears and or utilities. So it says, please complete the online application. So I click the link. It takes me through the application, asks me certain questions, and all I have to do is upload the lease, my W-9, the rental ledger, the tenant 7-day notice, or their judgment if I already have a judgment from the attorney, and some other little miscellaneous information they ask for and stuff like that. And then submit it, and off it goes. And then once they receive the entire package, they will email you, call you, and verify some of the information and possibly ask for some additional information if they need it. But this application for this program just opened up on March 15th. So I have been I have the luxury now of like text. I've been texting it like hotcakes to everybody. Fill this out. Fill it out today. Fill it out today. Fill it out right now. Fill it out today.
But I wonder how many people are not gonna fill it out because people lazy.
But it sounds like he has a good rapport with his people too.
We do. We have a good rapport. Like, I mean, as best as we can. At the end of the day, I was a tenant at one point, and my thing is you just want the same respect. I just wanted somebody to let me know what's going on or what's happening. So that's what we do. We give you the information as much as we have to give. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I don't know if the owner's going to approve of you of another round of spraying of whatever, but I'll definitely put it out there and ask, or I'm not sure if they're going to let you get a new door because you just don't like the way this one closed. Can we see if we can repair it first? Is it a possibility to have it repaired?
So you nicer than me because my answer would have been like, when you own your house, you can put whatever dough you want to on here.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
I'm not that nice.
No, but it just comes with, listen, it's still some people you be like, don't call here again. But at the end of the day, majority of people are just, they just want to know. So we try to be as respectful as possible and let them know what it is. But no, that's what really, that program, that those funds are accessible. You will receive them as long as you can give the adequate information and it makes sense. I will say, if you're trying to make some stuff up, there's a possibility it won't go through. But that's a lot of people, unfortunately, are going to be evicted if it opens back up because the landlords don't want to participate in it because, number one, they've already lost a lot. They either don't have the proper paperwork, the tenant doesn't want to create or doesn't want to complete their portion of it, and it can be they don't have a good relationship with them. Like I told one tenant, they were like, well, I don't know if I have all the information. Fill it out anyway. Fill it out.
The worst they can tell you is no.
That, or if you, like I said, they're like, well, I don't have a scanner and I don't have a printer. That's what we're here for.
They got. I don't even want to hear that because they got apps. I use Cam Scanner on my phone.
I mean, they do. Some people don't. Some people just again. At the end of the day, like I told them, we're here. We have locations. I have people that can assist. Drop the documents off. It takes 2 seconds when we're scanning in stuff to scan it in and upload it into the system for you because it benefits them because they have a more secure place to stay. It benefits us because we get paid, and it benefits the owner because now it makes them happy and they can recuperate either some or all of the money that's in arrears. You know, like everybody
you don't have a vacant house. You don't
absolutely,
have a house
absolutely.
I think some tenants really can't pay rent right now, but there's a lot that can or could and just didn't because they know ain't nothing you can do.
But I'm not even about to get on that subject because then they probably be putting all in the comments. Oh, he a Republican.
I mean, I'm just saying, like.
I mean, listen,
we gonna leave that subject alone.
Listen, just like we make time for what we want, we make time for what we can afford.
We got a question
exactly.
in the
yeah. So the question is, who pays a blight violation, the tenant or the owner?
Who's that?
That's my alarm going off.
Oh, I thought that was your
payroll.
That's between the first and the fifth alarm.
Yep.
Who pays the blight violation, the tenant or the owner? The owner is responsible for the blight violation.
Because the blight violations are billed to the house, which is in the owner's name. Then they get mad when they find out the tenant ain't moved that damn garbage can.
Absolutely.
Or they ain't cut that grass.
Correct.
Everything we was talking about earlier.
If it's something that is their responsibility, as far as the garbage can, the grass, the maintenance, things of that nature, as far as that, then you are still responsible for it because, like Emma said, it's in the owner's name, it's the owner's property, but you can charge it back to the tenant.
Yeah.
The next one, does the blight violation grounds for eviction? Yeah, any money that's owed to you is grounds for eviction. You can take them to court for it. It's money that's owed to you.
Hey, somebody said they're a local wholesaler and they've dealt with many situations where the seller wanted to sell. The tenant was there and considered a squatter because non-payment, or they asking. I guess, yeah.
No.
Were there who are considered squatters because of non-payment for a year.
No.
So basically, they want to know, what advice would you give for selling a property with a tenant but no contract or lease? I guess.
Well, if
but that should be on that buyer to know if they want to pick up that property.
That's what I say. That's on the buyer to know if they want to pick that liability up.
Because they should really be saying, hey, if it's a tenant in there, do you have leases? Let me see the leases. Is this a performing house? Yada, yada, yada. Because if there's no lease in place, they pick it up, the tenant leave tomorrow. They got to start over again.
Correct. Or you can make it a requirement at close or prior to closing or after, prior to closing for them to sign a new lease.
Right.
To bind them to this amount, and also try to, if you can, close and let them make their first payment, and then, or what I'm saying, like have them sign a new lease and make a payment at the same time, at least a good faith payment if they haven't made.
But if it's a tenant that's been there, because and I can kind of relate to that question because we see it come across our desk all the time, and I just shake my head because obviously I'm not an investor, but I understand ROIs and I understand all of that. And they're like, oh yeah, the tenant been here for 3 years and we don't have a valid lease for them. Okay, so now all of a sudden you change your ownership. The tenant don't know this new owner. The tenant doesn't know if this new owner is going to go up on the rent or not. So it's kind of like the tenant looking like, am I going to have to pay more? I ain't done that in 3 years. And you looking like, I don't know this tenant. Are they going to keep paying? But as a buyer, you should have done your homework and made that decision before you signed the contract.
Absolutely.
I guess in my mind.
No, you should have. That's a part of your due diligence period or your inspection period.
Or being a good investor.
Absolutely. Your due diligence inspection period. And if the seller cannot provide these documents, or if they do provide them and they appear to be made in one day.
Altered. They appear to be altered.
Yeah, altered.
Or they go buy a receipt book and write them out.
All in one day in the same handwriting.
Right, same handwriting, nothing changed, same penmanship, and they done went back 6 years.
Then that would be the opportunity for you either to get out the deal as far as doing your due diligence based upon information they provided, or to lower your price, to cover that loss, that potential loss, So no, it's the buyer's responsibility to decide if they're going to move forward with it.
I think that Shawnee Russell going through something because they done asked again. Is the seller responsible for blight? I guess they meant blight and water
Right.
on the tenant who decided to stay and not pay. That's on you because you should have had them set all that up before they move in as far as water, right? So that
The
happened.
seller is always the seller's responsible. Is if you own the house, you're a seller. You're responsible for the blight tickets and the water.
Now I wanted to ask you a question, which is tying into her question or his question. How do you handle it as a property manager with the water? And I'm speaking from Detroit. I'm not talking about the cities that pretty much got their stuff in order. No disrespect to our lovely city, but this is where it creates us taking 4 leaves at one time because I got a headache. How do you handle it when they say establish those tenant accounts? If the tenant moves, do you file your vacative affidavit immediately?
Yes.
Because that's what we run into from a title perspective, and or also when we're doing our deals and we're pulling up all the, all those different 301s, 302s, 304s. They're saying, well, all of those are tenant accounts. Okay, great. If it's in the tenant's name, I might be able to work with that. Or if the last account is in the tenant's name and I got a lease. But what if it's an account that you didn't file an affidavit for?
That becomes a seller's responsibility,
right?
Because of the fact that it was supposed to be the seller's. It's the seller's property. It was supposed to be their responsibility and or their property manager, whoever they hired, to file these documents once somebody vacates the property to make sure that the transfer occurs, to make sure that the tenant is vacated and make sure that the water account is properly documented. Yeah, it's following that tenant and not that property.
Yeah, and that's
most
the gray
people don't.
area.
I mean,
that's the gray area that we run
is.
into when we're doing these, when we're doing.
First of all, let's go back. Let's go back for a moment, Emma. Sometimes the tenant never even puts the water in their name.
In their name, yeah. And and the owner, and that's where my problem comes in at, because the owner is like, well, that's been the tenant account since I opened it up, but it says 300 and it says resident.
Yeah,
I get it. The tenant has been paying it, but Mr. Owner, you don't understand. It's not in the tenant's name. It's not in your name. At the end of the day, it's the 300 meter and it says resident. So no matter what, that account is going to follow you.
Yep.
And that's the argument that I have, like, literally 3 times a week. So I was just curious how you do it as a property manager. If you guys set it up and say, well, the tenant is responsible for water, do you make sure they go and put those accounts in their name?
Absolutely. And if they don't, we pay the bill and we charge it back to them.
But with doing it that way, paying that bill and charging it back to them when it's time to sell, if they upped and moved and there's a balance.
Okay, so let me be more specific. We send them a note. First of all, when they move in, they're supposed to have it done within we're going 30 days at least. Okay, to get it done, because we know the water department moves slow. It's now you can't go in, so you have to do everything online. You might have to fax some stuff in, blah 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 blah. Okay, you have 30 days to take it out of our name, the owner's name. It needs to go in your name within 30 days. If for some odd reason we find out, we do an audit or a check, and let's say 6 months down the line, the water bill is not paid, we will pay it, charge whatever difference is, whatever that bill is, back to the tenant, and then send them a 7-day notice because they violated their lease. Because in the lease, it states that they're supposed to put all utilities in their name, including lights, gas, water, if that's in there. Lights, gas, water is in their lease. Now, again, specific situations, if it's a multifamily, is going to be in the owner's name because you can't put it in the tenant's name. There's only one water meter. But if it's an entire house and they're occupying the entire house, it goes in their name. But that is a lease violation.
Right.
And now it's money that's owed to the owner because they had to take care of that bill because the water is a lien and it is their responsibility if it's not paid.
Yeah. So I mean, that goes back to answering.
And again, once the tenant account is established, you can ask for a copy of it. You're not asking. You already have. First of all, you really can get it because you got the information. But because of the Privacy Act, you want to be respectful and have them provide you with the copy of at least the bill showing that it's in their name, what the current balance is. You can also set up. Now they have it where if a tenant's water or electricity or gas is in jeopardy of getting turned off, they'll send you a letter or email or notice and let you know they're going to lose service and it'll revert back to either the property manager's account or the owner's account that it was in prior to the tenant moving
They
into
do
the
that for
property.
Detroit too?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
DTE is good at it, actually.
But
So,
you have to set it up from an owner perspective.
correct.
Going into it, knowing that
As
this
an
is
owner
there.
perspective, yep.
Gotcha.
Or
Gotcha.
property managers. For instance, if a tenant does not pay their electric bill and they're in shut off status, DTE will send us an email at our info account and say, as this is DTE, the tenant at X, Y, and Z, last four of this account number is in shut off status. If it's not paid by 3/25, it'll go back into the landlord account.
I think I have seen that. That says those property managers just letting DTE know, hey, we're property managers for blah 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 properties, and then you got your tenants or whatnot. So you've established that you're the property manager for this property.
Correct.
You want to know what's going on.
Correct.
I have seen these in the
Because
past.
again, if utilities get cut off, that's a violation of their lease, number one. But number two, it ruins your property. I mean,
it's an impact of the
it's
property.
an impact.
Right.
So lights get cut off, the furnace doesn't work, it's cold, pipes burst, they finally get it cut back on. That's a power surge. We can fry the motherboard in the furnace if it's not shut off at the time. Like it's a lot of things.
Right. Everything could break back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a gas leak on Balfour right before Christmas, because I think either whoever lived there prior to was still in gas, and they was running through a rather PVC pipe.
Oh, wow.
And it was coming out the side of the house, and I think they was gas, and when that Winnebago was there, I think they was living in there, and then just heating that up, and then all of a sudden it just cracked, and then I'm like, I had to hurry up and call, but DT came out with the quickness, they was on point. And they just took the whole meter out. I was like, yeah, just take it out. I'll call y'all back when the furnace go in.
Yep. No, it's again, that's why we always preach. I feel like we preach a lot about hiring professionals, licensed professionals is the reason why we have a license. It's not just, some people maybe for fun, but mine is not. Mine is as serious as a heart attack for me. And my thing is I want to make sure that we are providing adequate housing for for tenants. And at the end of the day, an owner can feel protected in a sense of that it's somebody that they hire, which is boots on the ground, property manager that's actually watching out for. Now, I don't want to make it sound like that's our everyday, but it is a part of our process as far as making sure that we're keeping track of these portfolios or these properties, making sure that we're staying in contact with tenants and tenants are staying in contact with. I'll be honest with you, I even do wellness checks. Like I went to a house the other day. The house where the door got stolen off. I went there and at the same time tried to do a wellness check with the tenant that's downstairs. It was a multifamily. Did you hear anything? Did you see anything? We haven't heard from you. What's happening?
That house got a lot going on.
No, it really don't. It's pretty quiet. That's why I was kind of shocked that it happened.
Maybe they be in the back somewhere. They don't be paying attention.
Yeah.
Are those the people who wanted a new door? They want to replace it. Now they got a new door.
It wasn't, but they probably did want one.
I wasn't gonna go there with that. I was gonna let it go.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Suspicious.
Any other questions?
Let me look. Yeah. Any tips for finding tenants for a duplex after the other unit was accused of shooting the other former tenant?
Wow.
Was this proven? If it wasn't proven, then it's all hearsay.
I was about to say if it's hearsay or whatever, but you know what? To be honest with you, that's something where you would have to then kind of shut the house down. And when I say shut the house down, you would have to take everybody out. And first of all, if a one tenant is shooting another tenant, that's got to be a violation of your lease. It's a violation of our lease. The other person you have definitely affected somebody's what they call quiet enjoyment. Okay, that's a part of
quality of life, I think.
Quality of life, quiet enjoyment, endangering others. That's a whole felony, misdemeanor. Listen, that's a lease violation. So you need to clear house and rebrand. Okay, take
But
everybody
I
out.
got a question. Did they shoot them like, and they went to the hospital, or they just shot at them?
It said accused of shooting the former.
It doesn't matter.
Because
My
shooting
thing is this:
means
if there was a
somebody.
police report done, if it
Yeah.
was a police report done, listen. And that's the thing about multifamilies. Oh my God. Okay, multifamilies. You are building a community. Okay. I know everybody comes into Detroit. They come everywhere. They looking for multifamilies. So you can have multiple income, but you're not gonna make no income if your tenants shooting each other. Somebody gonna pay to
She
live in
said
a hospital.
accused. She said accused.
It doesn't
Allegedly.
matter. It's still a hostile situation. It's still a hostile environment. So accusing did happen. It's still hostile because they're at each other. For it to even be an accusation. So now you're like, okay, you have to break this community down. You're gonna have to be like, listen, everybody got to go, and you just need to rebrand,
Everybody get down
maybe
out
do
here.
some upgrades because it's unfair. I mean, you really can't punish. It's not like school. You can't. Everybody has to be punished. That's the thing. I ain't gonna say punished. That's a terrible term.
Not really.
But what I'm just saying is this: you cannot just blame one person because now you're taking sides, and that's gonna be very bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means you're favoring somebody else over another. You have to be a neutral party, which means, listen, you guys have created a hostile situation at my home, at my property.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has to go. Everybody gets a 30-day notice. More likely, if you're working with an attorney, they can make it seem like, listen, it's a hostile situation. They cannot get along, and the owner is scared that damage is going to be done, lives are going to be lost, and they need. This is a health and safety reason why they, and that's what it is. It's health and safety. So everybody has to vacate this property. Now it is dangerous because if it is the person that didn't do the shooting or the victim, they feel like they're being punished. But you just have to understand, you don't want to stay in a hostile situation anyway. So I'm doing this as you're able to leave your lease, break it early, and you're able to go. Because I can't allow you to stay in a hostile situation. I can't allow you to be in a unhealthy, unsafe situation.
Yeah, because your house about to be a crime scene.
Absolutely. So you have to get rid of all parties and just start all over again. Like,
That's crazy.
go in, do some upgrades maybe, and rebrand it a little bit. Maybe add I don't know, maybe do some light little touch ups and try to ask for more money and find more qualified tenants that can live. I mean, you cannot discriminate, but you can kind of you're creating a community. Putting a person that works a 9-to-5 private pay, unfortunately, sometimes with a person that's on Section 8 may not be the best fit. Only because, I mean, you have to look at people's schedule. That's why you have to, again, going back to finding qualified tenants, you have to ask questions, work schedules, how many children, and things of that nature. You cannot discriminate if they qualify, but it's kind of like the process of elimination with the applications. Look for the best candidates. Look for candidates that are similar, especially in multifamily situations.
But what about, so in a situation like that, if there's somebody with a bunch of kids, I suggest you put them on the first floor. Because if it's a flat, they're going to be running, making a lot of noise.
It's a possibility. I mean, but at the end of the day, you can't put them on the first floor if they want to be on the second floor. But again, it's a process of elimination in the application. You may suggest that the first, because of the children. No. Let me take that back. Don't ever say because of the children. You may suggest the bottom floor because it has more room. You don't never want to say
because you don't have to walk up a flight of
because you
stairs.
got kids and they be running around. I'm not putting you upstairs. What?
All right, we got one question on the ground. Somebody said, "What's the average price for an application fee?"
Ain't no average price.
Be a minimum.
It can go from $20 to $100 to depending upon $150. It don't matter.
What's $150? What the hell am I getting for $150?
Hell, in Atlanta, the application fee $150.
Is that the going rate for that market though?
It depends. Yeah, that rate, that area, that complex, that property manager, whatever.
So what does the application go towards? The application fee. I know it weeds out. It got to weed out some people. I would think
It does. It does. So number one is used to weed out people because most people who don't want to pay application fee don't want to pay their rent. It's not a proven fact, but it is a kind of put it like this. What I have learned is that certain things weed certain tenants out. It's not a proven fact, but the research has kind of shown most people who are tech savvy and can fill out the application and get through the application online and pay with their debit or credit card is a little bit more knowledgeable and possibly a little bit more stable, or they could be. Okay, not to say that take away from anybody who's not that tech savvy, and some people just prefer probably paper, but it does kind of weed out those who can do little things a little bit faster or whatnot. But the application usually just kind of does, in an instance, provide
Some insight.
correct that some insights. It does kind of weed out some of the applicants as well. But the application fee mostly is because you have to pay for those consumer reports that you pull. That stuff is not free. And a part of it may also be income for property management and or the owner. I mean, maybe let's say the report is $15 and you charge $30. You make a $15 profit. You know, so I mean, this is a money making business. You're not going to the.
Do you do property management in Atlanta as well?
I don't, but I'm looking forward to expand the property management there. I've been offered the opportunity to do that as well as in Florida. That's going to be one of my next territory.
So you about to maintain that tan, that chocolateness?
Mm-hmm.
We got any other questions, Asia?
Let me check the gram. I started writing in my planner. I thought I got to do something.
What you mean?
Because I forget about it and write it down when I think about it.
Clearly.
Somebody said sorry. Oh, she said sorry for bringing the drama. Hey.
No, it's no drama. Listen, I love it.
We're passionate. We're passionate about what we're doing.
No. First of all,
there's no drama.
I love that. I love that inquiry. I loved it because those are the things that we're dealing with every day. It's how do you find a new tenant after somebody else and threaten somebody else's life and everything else. And like I tell the owners, that's the hard part about owning a multifamily. When people call me on the sales realtor side, they like, I want a multifamily. Are you going to self-manage or are you going to get a property manager? And well, I'm a self-manage. Let me just give you a little bit of advice. You are building a community. So you get, just like any community you want to live in, you usually want to live around like-minded people like yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As much as I like to hang in, I ain't gonna say that, but
I don't know what just happened there.
You was about to say.
I was to say, much as I like to hang in certain areas, I wouldn't live there.
Gonna bring the drama then go home. You.
That's right.
Sound like them the people who them others that own the liquor stores.
You say what?
Just like the people who own the liquor stores.
Oh,
they
come
here, make their money, and they go back wherever they at.
Yeah.
We got any other questions?
I don't see none on Instagram. Last call for questions, just like the bar.
Last call
Lights
for
about to come on.
insight.
You about to see who you was dancing with.
Last call for insight. You ain't got to go home.
Everybody who's saying thank you, you can always thank us with a cash app. But yeah, y'all welcome. But I think that was it.
You guys.
Yeah.
This was cool, man.
What's next month?
Oh yeah, we gotta do the church announcements.
Yes. Ty.
Well,
go ahead. Oh. All right, the next one is the 16th, and that's me talking about rehabbing in Detroit, so that should be fun. Lots of fun. After that, I think May, I gotta get the new flyers too, so I'm gonna need some people headshots.
Oh yes, please.
I forgot.
Please take my church girl shirt off of there.
I'm doing new headshots probably this summer. I'm gonna do them like at Detroit landmarks.
Yeah, I got a cat that we just met.
yeah, I'm gonna take my insurance photo off. I'm gonna get a more laid back photo. Right now, I'm selling caskets.
So I'll let y'all know on 1440. So the cat that does 1440, he has the little studio in there and everything. So I'm just
trying to stop over at 1440. They pretty popular.
Yeah.
Oh, my man, he's funny as hell. The guy that does all that. Oh yeah, he's funny. We was over there the other day, and we did some stuff. Davin and I can't get his ass out but once a year.
When I saw that photo, I was like, "How did you do that?"
But did you see
They're gonna
his
do
face?
Tucks and Chucks this year.
Huh?
I wonder if they're gonna do Tucks and Chucks this year.
He is. Byron said Tucks and Chucks will go down. So I
Oh,
told
I'm
him
there.
we
Yeah, I'm
needed
there too.
3 VIPs. Yes.
I'm down. Sign this and construction up.
Public announcement. Marcus, I don't know what you're doing, but the birthday party is going down Friday, the 26th.
I'll be in
But
Chicago.
DJ,
When was you gonna let me know?
the DJ, the food truck.
She just told me today. You know
Mickey
she be
Ears,
last minute.
2 bars is going down from 7 to 11:59.
Y'all gonna have to FaceTime me because
When
I'm.
was you about to tell me this?
I'm telling you now.
She told me yesterday. I'm like, oh, surprise.
Stop it. I'm telling you now. Just be here.
But I'll be gone. I gotta fix that hot water tank.
What?
In Chicago, right?
Yeah, at the mobile home, the tank went out.
Tell the audience about that. Tell them what you got.
Oh, yeah.
So I bought a mobile home that I'm selling. I got a couple cash offers on it, so hopefully I sell it when I come back. So I'll just be driving home with a book bag full of cash. So
a mobile home in Chicago. You guys gotta follow her.
Rockford, Illinois. It's like an hour. It's like an hour and a half from Chicago. So me and some of my crew will drive up.
Tell them everything. Don't downplay it. Tell them.
Oh, well, I bought it from Mobile Home and Lead Investors. I don't know if y'all follow them, but they like the only people I know, and they're dope, and they look like us, and they flip mobile homes, and they own mobile home parks. So that's pretty dope. They got some more in Pittsburgh they want to sell, so I was like, just send it to me. I'll do me a same.
I go to Pittsburgh.
And come down there and go and buy them up. My crew is down to travel to fix on them, so I was like, cool. So I don't care what it costs.
And now, are you gonna fix it and flip it?
Yeah, like I didn't really have to do much to it. Like we're gonna go over there. I'm gonna repair the hot water tank. I'm gonna like replace the light fixtures, update it that much, but that's it. Like the way he described it, I was prepared to walk in there and see some Detroit stuff. But I'm like, dog, this move in ready. It comes with the appliances.
Yeah.
Like they white, but it's the appliances. It comes with the stove, refrigerator, washer dryer, everything. So I got it posted for $25,000 or best offer cash. I do like 15 to 18. Finance gonna be at the full 25. They finance over like 20 years or something like that. I'm like, for $25,000, that's a low payment.
Yeah.
But the lot rent kind of high, so that's like 603 or 606 or something. So I done paid that twice. I'm like, I gotta hurry and sell this.
Still lower than rent.
True. That's true.
And you own it.
Thanks, but I was gonna rent it out. I was like, if I don't sell it by the Memorial Day, I'm gonna just rent it out because he said I can get like 900 to 1,000. So I cash flowed like 300-400. I'm like on 6,000. Okay, whatever.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
So I was like, I'm gonna get another one. Well, I'll let you know when they let me know about this Pittsburgh one because he said that one gonna be like, because he posts like 3 a.m. and I be up. I was like, yeah, you gonna take that down? I'm coming to get that. I'll drive up Martin Luther King weekend, and I did. Me and my friends, and went on and Zelled it to him.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah, we got no. So we got this transactional funding thing going to help some of our flippers. Who need a little bump to get off. A to B's, B to C's. We got that, right? Yeah, so that's pretty hot. We're gonna launch that. We put it out there, but the website and everything will be up next week. We're gonna start the classes back, the wholesale classes, and just understanding title. Probably start that back in April.
That's
and whatever we got going on.
That's cool. Y'all got any
expanding. We're already in the Georgia market, but we're going to expand into even further into Georgia. The next territory is Florida, specifically Orlando and Miami.
Really?
I'm down for a trip.
So we will manage and sell in those targeted areas as well.
That's gonna be all right.
Yep.
Yeah, I know we're gonna be out of the Penobscot building in another couple of months, so we're gonna try to keep Detroit. Yeah, it's time. Yeah.
Where y'all going?
Right, y'all relocating?
No. We're gonna try to keep a Detroit presence. That's very important to keep that presence. But we want something where it's easier for parking.
Yeah.
And to pull up. We're actually trying to get everyone under one facility. Me personally, I want a real estate spot where we could do our marketing, our networking, our classes, and everything in one.
Do a co-working spot. We'll move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, I'm like, we all go back to some kind of what we was talking about before. It just makes sense because I really want to do the mentoring program and some other stuff because there's a lot of people out here that need our help. But
Yeah.
back to the topic. Yeah, we're gonna move out of the Penobscot and get like hopefully a storefront or something where everybody can go. Then we'll keep this as a satellite, and just kind of expand that way. Pick up another underwriter or two. You know, um, I guess it ain't nowhere to go but up.
Sound like a plan to me. You got any church announcements, Marcus, before I run down the list?
Hire professionals.
What are you eating?
Keep it
I
classy.
know, right? Big stupid ass popcorn. I
Oh,
knew it was smart popcorn.
they popcorn slap.
I'm a smart man.
I'm gonna give me some Garrett's when I get Chicago. I got my 10 so they can just fill it up and it won't go stale.
Okay, grandma.
Yep, don't. It's the one from Garrett's. Like when you order online, they come in the 10, so I just kept
Who keeps the damn 10?
me. So every time
She
I go, I can fill up.
She do. It's in her backstage.
If you want me to bring you some, just say that. Why you hating?
I never use that 10. I don't.
I'll put yours in a Ziploc bag.
Oh my god.
Oh my
I
god.
can't even get a Garrett's bag.
It's gonna be. No, I'm gonna keep it in the Garrett's bag. But if you don't, it start going stale.
See, now I got a tough choice to make because I was going to Chicago so I could get my my food and the ride. When I am talking about birthday party, it's like ride in the truck, get some food, or go get some food and get drunk at a truck. Like,
just let me know. I'm gonna leave about 7 Friday.
I don't know what to tell you other than it's going down. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
dang.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
It is my birthday weekend.
It is.
Damn, it was something I was about to tell you guys and I forgot.
Oh, we got 2 more questions if y'all want to answer them real quick.
Sure.
Somebody said, "What's the process from personal home ownership to a rental property?" I guess they want to.
The process from personal home ownership to rental property.
I guess turning their house into a rental.
I guess that sounds about right. If it's your personal home, I'm gonna make the assumption that it's probably really nice. So as long as it's something that you would live in that's safe and habitable, you can turn it into a rental property. But specifically, what would make it a rental is number one, once you change the insurance, because most time if it's a personal home, your insurance would reflect homeowner's insurance, and this would be more of a liability structure coverage only. And secondly, you would register it in whatever municipality this house is located as a rental property. Some people go to the extent of changing the deed from their personal name to maybe an LLC, but I'll let Emma talk more about that.
I mean, the downside to if the property is in your personal name, the presumption is it's your primary, we assume, and you get the reduced tax rate if it's your primary. However, don't go claiming it as your primary, and it's not, because that shit will catch up with you through the state. Because we talked about this before, and you have to give your social security information, and once they find out that it was not your primary and you was claiming that somewhere else, they're going to retroactive those credits that they gave you. But a lot of folks do, maybe, under the circumstances, you purchased it in your personal name, or you found better living facility, and you say, I want to take this personal home and turn it into a rental. As Marcus pointed out, a lot of people say, well, I want to take my personal name off of it and put my LLC for liability purposes and have all my insurance and everything consistent that way. Then that's when we're doing a deed from you as an individual over to your LLC. That's the easy part, but it's other things that come with that. You need to factor in your accountant. You need to factor in your insurance. You need to factor in what's best for you. So people do it all the time. They jump and move, but it's not just changing the title. It's how you filing your taxes, how you doing things. So it's really getting an understanding of all of that before you make that decision. But if you do decide to do it, the deed part is easy. Then you just follow that through with the city assessor's office, the property transfer affidavit, and whatever compliances from the building and safety division for that city, letting them know that it's now a rental, so you're not getting hit with those blight violations.
Absolutely. And now that we talk about process, that's how I started off in real estate as far as rental. I bought a house back in 2005 that was supposed to be my primary property. Um, I was in college, so I decided not to move into the house because it was far away from the college. So I ended up renting the property for about 5 years, and then once they moved out, I moved in. So yes, as long as it's safe and habitable, you follow those steps as far as like you said, registering it with whatever municipality, following those registration laws, paying the fees, and pretty much kind of changing the insurance. I mean, you can make it into a rental property from your personal home to a rental property.
And again, get with your CPA because there's a lot of write-offs.
That too. And if you don't hire a property manager, you can hire a real estate attorney too to, kind of create you a lease.
Yep.
She said, y'all should buy an empty school co-working. Absolutely. We were thinking about that. I've been thinking about that for the longest.
Yeah, it's just gonna cost it. I mean, I'm down. This is that rehab, my God.
Yeah.
That's going.
I mean,
a lot of our schools have been sitting for what, almost 15, 20 years now?
Yeah, they've been saying
that was gonna be my question.
I mean, the DPS has some good prices. I've seen some good prices for some of these buildings, but like, man, it's the work. And these boilers are 100 years old.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it had to be gutted and then converted.
No, fuck that, because I'm not gonna pay you and you're gonna file a lien on me. I'm straight.
Listen, you can file your lien.
Because I'm looking for the right to market.
Work during the winter. I don't.
Business.
Right to market. Like, I need the legal description, please.
Because you're gonna be talking about record this. Oop, it got lost.
I go file it myself. I normally, I file all my liens myself.
That's not bad.
I file those liens. No,
I filed my. I just say you do the legal description.
You do.
I mean,
I want to make sure that boy gets in.
Because one of the things we are about is educating.
That's right.
I mean, knowledge is power.
Somebody said call Josh Bales or Balls.
Yeah, Bales.
At the city of Detroit.
For what?
Write that down.
I guess about schools.
Oh, okay.
Good looking.
I'm writing that down.
All right. I think that's all questions. So church announcements. So we got 2 events this summer. First one is June 26th, which is the How to Invest in Detroit webinar, and we're making it in-person mastermind as well for like 8 people. We're keeping it small. So if you do select the mastermind in-person selection, you get a 20-minute consult with me, a copy of your lease that you'll need to rent from give to renters from Marcus, and was giving out 1 free title search, one like ONE1. That means you need to submit it within 30, 45 days, not a year from now. And Ebony, she's giving out her ebook for free on how to what's Ebony book?
Home care.
Yeah,
adult home care.
On adult
foster care.
Like it's like the top 10 steps about starting your adult home care or something like that, or foster care. So
that's people like, how does that work? What y'all doing? Listen, some people buy houses, don't know what to do with it. She gives you some valuable information about what you can do with the house that you just purchased besides renting it. Or if renting wasn't working for you and you want to try something different, there you go. Buy her.
Yeah. So it's affordable. No, not affordable. What's the word? Adult daycare, adult foster care, group home, like all that in the one. The next event is the real estate tour. This is our 4th year doing it.
That's my baby right there.
Yeah, we have a good time.
I'm making y'all attire this year. I'm not making.
Yeah, whatever.
Hopefully you actually come this year, because we always say you will see and it be empty.
I'm only coming to drink on the boat.
No, that's bullshit. I've been to all of them.
You didn't come last year.
For the boating and the drinking and the food and the training. The only part I didn't do was put a hard hat on with the heels and walk the houses.
Anyway.
There's not enough room in the van for you anyway.
Right, it's cool. So the tour is now, we moved it up a month because towards the end of September, it's just too cold on the water because that's when our season started to change. So now it's August 12th through the 15th. We do have the hotel option to where we get the hotel for you, or if you want to just come and get your own hotel. But I am going to have to put a deadline on that because I got to start reserving these rooms pretty soon. The tour is so Thursday night when y'all get there, we do a boat tour of the city. Food is included, drinks, all of that. We have a good time. It's kind of like an icebreaker, a meet and greet. Then Friday we tour the east side, have lunch, and then y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Last year we hung out, which was crazy. And then Saturday We do the West Side lunch, and then later on that night we meet up for like a recap, and we have other people come in and speak as well. What you about to say, Marcus? My bad.
No, I'm just saying I want everybody to come out to both of those. We have an excellent time. Like the mastermind is awesome. Like you leave with too much knowledge. Actually, like we always end up going over, and we have a great time.
Like the last tour we did, like Cheryl and her husband, they've been kicking ass, dog. They came here. Cheryl, from New York.
Oh, my clients?
Yeah.
Man, listen.
They came here kicking ass. They are. She bought something else on Balfour.
They are cleaning up right now.
They're not playing.
They come in probably at least once a week, every month. They love Detroit. They're true New York, Brooklyn all day. They rep Brooklyn tough, but when they come to Detroit, it's Faygo Pop and Better Made chips. I'm sorry, Vernors. We got them addicted to Vernors.
That's crazy.
Come here without drinking them.
You know, that's my pop. That's the only pop I can drink.
Yeah. So, and they were participants of our real estate tour. The tour is absolutely amazing because you get to see the city of Detroit, and we show you from the good, the bad, the ugliest.
Yeah, we show you $1 million homes down to $20,000 homes.
Yep.
It's pretty dope. So, Reggie said, "What up? What up, Reg? Oh, Reg, I need you to send me your headshot because you on one of these lineups, and I'm about to get the flyers for the rest of the year.
And I need your jersey size because you got a What Up Doe coming.
And thank you, Reg, for the referral.
What Marcus said.
Come back and see. You got to go
all
see
that.
Yep, all the above. Thank you, RP Reggie P. That's what's name my phones. I know two Reginalds, so I got Reggie P. and then there's Reggie, so I know which one is which. But I think that's it. Y'all got any announcements?
Nope.
No, I think we covered all of them.
Yep. So all right, y'all. We'll see y'all next month then. Thank you, Instagram, for tuning in. And have a good day. And thank y'all always for tuning in with me. And
always. Thank you.
Awesome for you guys.
Thank you.
Right. Thank y'all for tuning in. Have a good night. Don't y'all hang up. I'm just gonna end the broadcast. Peace.
Peace.